We have begun.
Okay, good. There is one indisputable truth, and it is that we were not wanted. Several of the people in Erebor are sitting in a large chamber where Smaug is giving something of a history lesson. The majority of the crowd are orcs and goblins, but there are actually a fair number of dwarves there, and even a couple of elves, as well as some of the spiders, and of course, Erina.
Who is
When
looking?
Eru commanded the Valar to sing the song that created the universe, all the Valar were supposed to sing from a very specific script. But one of the Valar sang a discordant note, and that was Melkor, who we now call Morgoth. Because of that discord, everything in creation is flawed. It is not entirely by design. And the greatest and most obvious flaws are those of us that are called the children of Morgoth. Those creations that were particularly twisted by his malice. The orcs, the trolls, the vampires, the wargs and werewolves, and the dragons. All of us twisted in Morgoth's own perverse vision of what creation should be, and so is the truth of the world. The elves believe it, the men believe it, the dwarves believe it, the orcs believe it, the trolls believe it, the dragons believe it, because this is the truth that is told by all the gods, Morgoth included, that we were not wanted here. We do not belong. We don't fit. And it is not just the children of Morgoth who are broken. The dwarves, Smaug says, gesturing to the dwarves in the audience. The dwarves were made by Manwë without the permission of Eru. He even allowed them to awake first, which was a major contradiction of design, though unlike the orcs and other creations of Morgoth, Eru was more forgiving and simply commanded that the dwarves be put into a sleep, and not awakened until after the elves had taken mastery of the world first, for the elves were supposed to be the first. And he says, nodding to the elves in the audience. So what is the message we are supposed to take away from our origin? What are we, the mistakes, the corrupt ones, supposed to think of ourselves in this world? What is our purpose? Morgoth argued that we were to destroy the world. We are corruption. We are discordant. We break the song and turn it into chaotic noise. And indeed, this is the view of many, that we are nothing but an obstacle to perfection, that we are a villain to be slain and destroyed. Both Morgoth and those who oppose him hold true to this belief. Morgoth because he wanted nothing more than to destroy creation, and those who oppose us because they believe that by conquering this great discordant evil, they make themselves all the more splendiferous. After all, they argue, what is good without evil to contrast? A hero is more laudable when they have slain a great evil. And that is why we are in the world. That is why this mistake was allowed to be, so that something wicked could be purged and in the process make the good in the world shine more brightly. But this is not the view shared by all. There was one who believed that everything in this world, even those who were born of that discordant note, have a purpose. This was the philosophy of Saruman, or at the very least, it was his of Sauron. At the very least, it was his sales pitch. Sorry, Saruman was in my notes, so my brain got scattered. Sauron believed that everything could be fit into an order, that the world was chaotic because of the discordant note, but that chaos could be refined and made to serve a purpose. That the existence of orcs, the existence of trolls, the existence of dragons, all of this was a challenge, yes, but the challenge was not to destroy these flaws in creation, it was to fit them into the workings of a grander machine. The flaw was allowed so we could make something even more epic, perhaps one would say. At the very least, that was Sauron's pitch. A place and a purpose for everything. All of us can be accepted. All of us can serve a purpose, so long as that purpose is Sauron's will. Which is ultimately the fork of those of us who are of the discordant notes life. Do we exist as an obstacle, a force of chaos to be slain and destroyed by the forces of civilization and progress? Or are we tools of that progress to be used at the hand of a tyrant? I challenge those of you here listening to this lesson to think of a third option. We need not fight the world, either as forces of entropy or as soldiers for a tyrant's attempt at dominion. We can simply be content to be part of it, living in our homes, feasting when we need to, sleeping when we can, and being content to be here, whether we're wanted or not. And the assembled audience sits there, and eventually some of the orcs clap, and Smog's like, please don't. And they're like, oh, okay, lesson's over today. Get out. And everyone disperses, leaving Arena alone with the giant fucking dragon.
Okay. If you're talking.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay. You were lighting up and I wasn't hearing nothing.
Oh.
Yep.
I wasn't speaking. I was waiting for a prompt.
Yeah, it's just you. It's just you and the dragon.
Oh. Huh. Well, on the spot again, eh? Arena, meanwhile, since the last of you saw her, given that it's been quite a few months since last episode, both in actual time and in game time, she has traded out her I am a poor battered isekai character who from several who got the isekai equivalent of hot potatoed. Now she looks more refined and looks a lot more content and not like the world has ran her over several times over. She looks like somewhat more of a noble in dress, albeit a bit more with some modern aesthetic thrown in because she's a modern British girl. She has her tastes, and she is currently just sitting, listening intently to the whole lesson while looking like she's debating in her head between two different voices.
The ring has been listening very intently to that lecture. Smaug turns to you with his giant fucking dragon head and says, "So what do you think, Arena?" As a note from an entirely different melody. What do you think the purpose of us discordant notes here on Middle-earth is?
Well, where I'm from, it's always been encouraged to be able to change your own destiny or go where you wish, regardless of where you are, and if you cannot find prosperity in one place, simply head to another.
So there's no beliefs of destiny in your world?
Oh, there is. We call them Protestants.
Hmm.
They're a bunch of wankers, if you ask me, but
Protest is part of their name, so that would scam.
Where I'm from, they used to be a large organized religion that believed in one true God. But over time, the institution became corrupt, and some some lads found the teachings irreverent and started a protest. But he was a flawed individual himself, and all in all, led to a schism between the.
Uh, that sounds achingly familiar.
And where I'm from, there's a Protestant sect who was only found because the king only wanted to divorce his wife because the church wouldn't let him. That's it. That's the only reason why the church I'm from exists. Good old England.
Humans have such complicated mating rituals.
You're telling me.
When a dragon no longer wants to be with a partner, they either tell the partner to leave or eat them while they're sleeping. It's much simpler. There's the sound of metal boots clacking on the stone floor as a long-limbed, short little goblin rushes in. Sire, lady, there's a man at the gate. He claims he is the mouth of Sauron.
I'm sorry, what?
Your ring perks up. Oh?
What?
How interesting. I suppose we should see to him then.
Alright.
The two of you go to the mouth of the cave, and sure enough, there is a man with an entourage of orcs on horses. They are different than any of the orcs you have met. Their armor is fairly close to uniform, and they are a bit more uniform in appearance, although they're also far more bestial in build. They're not the hobbled, asymmetrical goblins that you met in the Misty Mountains. These are more like, they're built more for war. And their armor is likewise of better make. It's not just scraps of metal crudely assembled in the shape of armor. It's actual, well made, if still very ugly and sharp and ferocious looking armor. The Herald, being a human, is dressed a bit better, but his armor still has that sort of ugly industrial punk look to it. He smiles at you with a grin that's a bit too wide and with teeth that could desperately use some toothpaste.
Hello, King under the mountain.
Actually, this is, it's going to be a little hard to describe. We're experimenting with sort of a group leadership. I am one of a few council members, as it were.
I think it's called the Parliament.
We're a bit. I thought we agreed we were a bit small to be a parliament.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I am Lord Smaug of the Mountain, and this is Lady Erina. I apologize that Lord Belmont could not be here to see you as well.
Ah, interesting. Well, Lord Smaug of the Mountain, Sauron requests your aid in a grand campaign.
Does he now?
Yes. he remembers the last time he asked for your aid. You were conspicuously absent from any of your old haunts.
Oh, yes, that was quite a misfortune for him. I was visiting my cousin Chrysophylax.
Oh. For several decades.
Yes, for several decades.
I was not aware that dragons would spend this much time with their relation.
Well, Chrysophylax Smaug struggles for a moment to come up with an actual compliment for his cousin. An interesting individual.
How grand for you. Well, thankfully this time you are not visiting your cousin, so you will not be absent from the Great War.
I don't know. See, my cousin Urgost was asking if I could see him.
Urgost.
Yes, Urgost. He's a Theologi.
I know of Urgost. We are sending word to him as well. In fact, if you know where this cousin Chrysophylax lives...
Oh, he won't take part in the war. He's a pacifist. And the mouth of Sauron just glares at him for a minute.
A pacifist.
Yes.
Dragon pacifist.
He's a cold drake. No fire. No fire in him. Both literally and in the warrior sense.
Sauron requests the aid of the Lonely Mountain, and all these orcs you have at your side, and dwarves as well, and the spiders. We want the spiders.
Well, I'll think about it.
Think about it.
Yeah. I'll give it a good think over.
It is the Great War! The war, Smaug! You are child of Morgoth, heir to Glaurung, last of the great Uroloki. You cannot give up war!
What's his sales pitch?
It is the conquering of Middle-earth! It is fulfillment of purpose!
Yeah, so how much gold exactly would I be getting?
I do not know how much gold is there in all of Middle-earth!
That's a lot of gold. How much of it would I be getting?
I am not a financier. I am the herald of Sauron. Are you joining the war or not?
I will give my answer in my own good time.
You know Smaug the Tremendous. Smaug the Golden, greatest and chiefest of calamities. Sauron is amassing an army unlike any that Middle-earth has ever seen.
Oh, you mean full of Balrogs and dragons, like the ones Morgoth had?
Middle-earth has not seen in several centuries.
So not the greatest army that's ever been assembled. You know, Sauron had Calagon the Black, who could crush
Yes, and Calagon the Black. So grand! It would be so grand to have a fire-breathing dragon in the army!
Yeah, I bet it would.
Okay, Mike Pompeo.
He is amassing a great force. Orcs from all over the world. Orcs the likes that man has never seen before. He has so many inventions.
Does he have the ring?
What?
The One Ring. He lost it a while ago. Does he have that?
Of course he does.
Really?
Really?
Yes. He would be stupid to fight without the ring.
And Aaron, you hear your ring say, "That's for certain." Can I have it?
What?
The ring. If he gives me the ring right up front, I'll take it. I'll join the war.
He will not give you the One Ring.
And I'm gonna have to think about it.
Be warned, Smaug the Tremendous. If you do not join the war, then you are an enemy of Mordor. and we will come for you.
My armor is like tenfold shield. My fangs are sword. My claws beard.
The strike of my tail, a thunderbolt, my wing, a hurricane, and my breath.
Smaug lets off a vast jet of flame from his mouth, soaring hundreds of feet into the sky and illuminating the world briefly with red fire.
Death.
I will give you my answer in my own good time. But if your master tries to press his advantage, I will fight him with every inch of my being, and he will learn exactly how deadly a Urolokia can be.
I'm imagining it's like the scene from Shrek where the one guy is trying to give orders to Shrek, and he's like, "You in what army?" And all the orcs are gone.
Smaug is a catty bitch, and I love him.
Think on my master's offer. You will regret if you do not join the conquest. Yeah!
And he and his entourage go. Smaug smiles smugly as they leave, but once they're out of sight, his smile drops into a frown. We haven't much time. Erina.
Mm-hmm.
I need you for a mission.
And that mission is?
I have been suspecting that Sauron will be mustering his forces for some time. When Belmont left last week, it was to try and convince the dwarves of the Iron Hills to join us in resistance to Sauron's will. But there are others who must be made to join. We must unite all the free people of Middle-earth. The trouble is, I am a fire-breathing dragon, and if I just show up in their towns, they are going to try to kill me. As a human, you are the best ambassador of a Lonely Mountain and Erebor and Dale could provide. I need you to go. You there! Goblin, give me a map.
Right away, Smaug.
A little goblin comes up with a map. Here, Smaug marks the map of a little rip with his claws. We should talk to Elrond in Rivendell, Galadriel of Lothlorien. Rohan has a king, I forget the current one. And Gondor has long been held by a steward. And he looks at the Shire. I do not know how Hobbit society is structured, but from your friends I've learned they are not to be discounted, so I would desire their counsel. Try and get someone who represents them to come as well, and I suppose we should talk to Saruman. And he marks Isengard on the map.
Alright.
I would suggest starting with the hobbits. Along the way, you can stop at Rivendell that hits 2, and then curl around the bottom here, making your way back to Erebor in a sort of loop. Don't worry about our friends in Mirkwood. Legolas, Kraben, and Legolas's boyfriend, I forgot his name, they're going to get their aid. What was the name of that little dwarf who was with him?
What? Gemron? Gemle?
Gemmel?
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 I think it's Gemmel.
A couple of dwarves passed by and was like, Gimli, sir! Thank you.
Like a boyfriend Gimli, oh my god.
Dude, you should let me read you the appendices for what happens after everything's done to Legolas and Gimli, because whoo boy!
Oh, please
That's
do.
a goddamn romance. I will not take anything less.
Son of Glowing, right? One of the ones that you rescued on the way here.
Yeah, that's one thing I thought as well.
Gimli, son of Groin.
Oh, God.
So, if you could go around there and entreat them to not only join in a council to talk about the coming war, but send an ambassador of sorts. I doubt the leaders themselves will come, but they can probably give you someone who is worthy of speaking for them.
Right, some sort of fellowship, sort of.
Yes. Bring them back here, and we could hold a council and figure out what our move is. Perhaps even gain intelligence on what exactly Lord Sauron is planning.
Will I be going alone?
Is there anyone here you would like to take with you? Most of your old adventuring allies have scattered.
Right.
Now is the time for anyone who's in Erebor to show up.
On her way, does that count?
Sorry, what was that?
Sotra's on her way there, does that count?
Yeah, I think so. We'll meet you on the road.
Okay.
Did anyone else stay in Erebor? Everyone else, I think, is either in Rivendell or the Shire, correct?
I think so.
I know Gorthy's in the Shire.
Fun fact, that's where we're going in today's session.
Grambone was built with the purpose of he can show up wherever is needed.
And remember, we talked about that thing in DMTT that was Sotra was going to do that you got
Yes.
here? Okay.
Alright.
Yes.
Um,
I vaguely remember that. How about you remind me?
I will.
Because it's been a couple of months.
Yeah.
Months? Months. Jesus.
Real life sucks.
The world is dying and we're all trapped in it.
Hey, we had some good news.
what's Durza up to, given that she's a North?
Durza is currently researching things in Rivendell.
Ah.
Yeah, okay. So, Erina, as you're getting packed, there's a scratching at your door, and eventually the door is pushed in the way a cat would, where something small sort of sticks its paw on the crack to open it a bit, and then uses its head and body to sort of force it open the rest of the way. And
I know that
in flutters a tiny little red dragon.
Aw.
Very well developed wings like Smaug. It snorts a couple of sparks, showing that it is at the very least a Feoloki, if not a full Uraloki. Sort of flutters through the room in that sort of, zigzaggy fashion of butterflies and insects, not the straightforward way of a bird. And eventually perches on your shoulder.
Is Lady Erina going away?
Yes, your father has sent me on a mission.
May I go with Lady Erina?
Ask your father.
Go ask your dad.
Okay.
And it flutters out the door.
He's hyperprotective of you, so I don't have the right to make that call.
And a few minutes later, the dragon flutters back in.
He says he trusts you.
Then you may come.
Good. I want to see the world. I heard Rivendell has very good slumber parties.
Aww.
Easily some of the best I've had.
Aww.
Did we
Klaus,
agree?
Klaus, have you... No, we haven't yet. Klaus, have you been talking to the dragon? It's picking up some of your accent.
Yes, I talk to the dragon quite often.
Oh.
I have been trying to make our toys, but the workshop in here only lets me make bullets.
Oh.
I miss making toys with my own two hands.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to make toys someday.
I don't know.
I think I may be trapped in here forever. Oh. Condemned to only make these weapons of war.
Oh.
Well, Erina is quite wise. She'll find a way to release you, I'm sure. I do not know.
That is my quest.
Magic does not work the same way here as it does in Narnia.
Even if we have to go to Narnia and burn down Santa's workshop.
I'm beginning to agree with you, Erina. I'm liking the sound of this Narnia place less and less each time I hear about it.
Scott's like Klaus.
All right, Erina, with your 3 companions, you set out from Erebor.
With 2 of them in her head.
Yeah, and literally, as you are walking out of the great, newly reforged dwarven gates, you see Sotra coming up the pathway to the mountain with her son in tow.
For the first time since you've seen her, she actually has a happy smile on her face as she's carrying her son into town.
I'm gonna roll a wisdom saving throw.
Can't handle this.
Rita looks more terrified than you've ever seen her.
She does not notice you. She is distracted by her son.
And Irene said, "Tell me, that doesn't seem natural, does it?"
Mommy! Dragon! Your child points to the little dragon on Erina's shoulder.
She sees Erina and freezes.
I thought you said Smaug was really big.
That's not Smaug, dear.
I am not Smaug. I have not yet chosen a name. But I am tremendous. Behold my majesty, my ring, my scales are like rubies.
Oh.
And the dragon does have very shiny scales.
Okay.
One day you'll be a right proper dragon lord.
Yes, and many enemies will burn before me.
Murderous little scamp, ain't she?
So her smile is gone. Just making a face.
Well, dragons are dragons.
Yeah. Hello, Erina.
Hello, Lady Sultra.
It has been a while.
It has. Things have not been good. We've just received a little visit from a certain mouth of a certain.
She makes a zip motion with her hand.
Yeah. I am currently on my way to Rivendell and into the Shire to form a little fellowship or parliament group to discuss matters.
I see. I suspected something like this might occur. So, she looks back to her son, and her expression changes again entirely. I brought someone here to have some fun for a while Mommy's away.
You see your son is currently playing with the little baby dragon who's flying around his head in circles, and he's sort of laughing and giggling and waving his arms.
Sotra tears up a little bit.
I think this is your.
Yes. This is my son.
Right. You should be safe here, and there's a lot of other children to play with, so.
Don't forget to mention the daycare.
And a rather splendid daycare.
Oh, that's very good. Would you like to go meet Smaug?
Thank you, Sora.
Would you like to go meet Smaug?
Yeah!
Alright, come with Mommy. She hoists him back up, nods to Erina, I will return, and goes to drop her son off with Smaug.
Alright, I'm gonna follow Sotra for a bit.
Oh.
Sotra, you go into Erebor, and holy fuck is it different than the last time you saw it. Solely under the care of Smaug, it had fallen into disrepair. I mean, he smashed a lot of shit to get in there in the first place, and, gathered all the gold up, and then left a lot of the small passages filled of cobwebs rot essentially. Well, now it's all cleared up. Everything's been, everything that was smashed has been rebuilt better and stranger than before. The architecture is now a mix of goblin and dwarven craftsmanship with a couple of elf flourishes because, to your surprise, as you're walking through the busied crowd of Erebor natives, some elves have joined. Some from Mirkwood, more from Rivendell.
No.
And the cultures are mixing. You pass by goblins wearing elven and dwarven fashions. You pass by elves who have their hair up in goblin hairstyles. You see
Is that same elf girl here from Rivendell?
Mm-hmm. You see dwarves riding on the backs of spiders in elven hunting gear. Like the cultures are mixing in a very interesting way. A somewhat heretical way, a way that it's never been done before.
Her face is looks kind of sour, but.
And as you pass by, you go to the room that leads to where you first found Smaug, his sleeping den, the great treasure hall. And when you enter it, it's been redone. There are still hoards of treasure, but they're more manicured, and there is a series of thrones for the Council of Erebor, most of which are vacant save for the largest, which is the one that Smaug himself currently sits upon.
Great Smaug.
Great Sotra.
Just Sotra. I have come.
Oh, come now. A great deal of this greatness is on account of your actions.
I am just an elf.
And I just a dragon.
Perhaps.
Just a dragon.
Perhaps.
Not something you hear often.
Yeah. I have come to request a favor, as I have done for you.
I would be honored to repay a debt.
This is my son. And son, this is the great Smaug.
Kid looks up and sees this enormous fucking dragon. And at first there's a primal instinct of terror, but then it's mixed with that kind of wonder that kids get on their face when they see dinosaur bones. Where there's just the disbelief that something so big could be alive, and the wonder at the prospect of that. Smaug lowers his head down to look at the kid on his own eye level and says, "Well, little one, what do you think? Am I truly as great as tales tell?"
You're really big!
Aww.
Yes. Yes, I am.
I've only had him for 5 minutes, but if anything happened to him, I'd find this room and bed myself.
Considering you're elves, I'm pretty sure you've had him longer than 5 minutes. Probably had him
Smaug
like
raises
5
his head
centuries.
once again. That head, which when raised up to the full length of his neck, almost touches the ceiling. So you and your offspring seek shelter here.
Just my son. I have something I need to do.
Oh.
A mission to finish.
Well, your son will receive the finest of care here. We have many who have dedicated themselves to taking care of children, both while their parents are working and of those who are orphaned. Rest assured, no matter your business, your son will be well provided for.
When he says orphaned, her face twists a bit again. I would greatly appreciate it, Smaug.
What business are you on at the moment?
I have come to finish what I believe Gandalf would have wanted.
And what is that?
It's Gandalf.
Irana freaking yells from the goddamn
Actually, it's
square.
Gandalf. We
Actually,
established in episode 1 that his name is Gandalf in this continuity.
get out!
Such a
I told you to get out of here, know-it-all. Back to the cesspits with you. They ain't clean enough yet.
He did not want war to touch these lands again.
Ah.
That's why
True.
he sent us to you. I don't think he intended for things to end the way they did with you. But
From what I know of Gandalf Stormcrow, he very rarely intended much of anything. He just sort of poked things to see what would result.
well,
But it is true, from all I know of the Smaug Smirks man, he wished to prevent further war in Middle-earth, and in that sense he and I have a like mind. Sauron is gathering his army. He recently sent a herald in an attempt to recruit me and the goblins of Erebor to his cause.
I assume you turned him away.
Oh yes, quite delightfully. But that means that all of us have a target on our backs.
Of course.
We need to unite. If there is one thing the past while has taught me is that we are stronger together than apart. And right now we are very much apart. I have sent Erina on a mission to gather ambassadors from various people of interest in the hopes that we may find a way to unite all of the various free peoples together, as the elves of old once did. I would be appreciative if you would help Erina in this task.
I would.
Then your first stop will be Rivendell, and from there the Shire. After that, the pathway is a bit more open to you, but try and recruit an ambassador from each. Talk to the leaders of those respective areas, and bring ambassadors back here so we can hold a council. Get everyone informed. Unite and form a solid front.
She nods. I believe we might be pick up other people along our way as well.
Quite possible. The more help, the merrier, I believe.
What happened last time? She mumbles to herself.
Yes. And perhaps if we make a strong enough showing, Sauron might come to his senses and just drop this whole charade. Especially since I doubt he has the One Ring.
What makes you think so sure he does not?
When Sauron had the ring, when he assembled the Nine at their full strength, he did not bother with sending herald. He did not bother with these cheap tactics. He struck out. By that point, the need for subterfuge and deals and treachery was beneath him.
He's not as powerful.
No. In fact, as long as that ring is not in his hands, he is quite vulnerable. And as long as we can keep it from him, we can destroy him. Crush him until there is not but the
Lord,
faintest
Great
scrap
Smaug. Great Smaug. She motions to
Yes.
her son still in the room.
Do you hear that? We can kill Sauron. Wouldn't that be lovely? The kid sort of zoned out.
He is mesmerized by Dragon currently.
So, yes.
I should have expected that. He has quite a fascination for reptiles.
What a good lad. We will take good care of him.
Thank you. If You believe he does not have the ring and is not as powerful. Do you believe if we were to gather the races together, we could defeat him if need be?
I think if we presented a united front, we could fend off the forces of Mordor. I'm not sure about an invasion. Mordor is incredibly well defended. One doesn't simply walk into Mordor and stroll up to the throne room and knock Sauron off his perch. And more to the point, I have no interest in provoking a war. As far as I'm concerned, I would prefer to stay on the defensive.
And with all of us together, there's hopefully not much he could do to us.
Yes. But Sauron was clever. I will give him that. He was clever, and he schemed, and he reached thought far, and he approached solutions in a way that others would not. I would not underestimate him, even without the ring. But doing something is better than doing nothing. We will die if we stay alone.
Agreed.
Well, it was wonderful running into you again, Sotra.
And it was nice to see you again. Great Smaug.
Fare thee well.
Fare thee well. She turns to her son and kneels down to his height. You are going to be staying with Smaug for a while.
Oh, okay. Where are you going?
Mommy's just going to go and take care of some things she needs to do.
Okay. And then he immediately hugs you. Gonna miss you, Mommy.
He hugs him back and is tearing up. I love you too. Now, be a good boy for Smaug.
Okay.
Why don't you share with him all that you have learned about the local lizards?
Smaug! And he takes out of his satchel a little book of all his drawings of lizards. I drew lizards! And Smaug bends his head down and looks, oh, look at that. He drew a lot of lizards. And that is the conversation you overhear as you're leaving the room.
Yeah. She hurries out of the room. She is crying at this point.
Alright. Sotra comes out of Erebor, her face streaked with tears, and she goes to your side, Erina, and you two begin an epic quest. And certainly not just a long, protracted mission of gathering NPCs, which you then have to babysit.
It's an escort quest.
Tolkien off the rails, a series of escort missions.
Yeah.
On kazoo plays.
Is it? Hold on.
Cool.
Oh, it doesn't work no more. I broke my kazoo. I can't do it.
All right. So I have to roll a thing.
Also, Sotra, you also notice that Arena looks a bit more red in the face than you last saw her, as in she has a bit of a red freckling pattern.
You got some interference on your mic, okay?
Can you hear me now?
There you go. Yeah.
I was saying that since the last Gray. There we go. I was saying that since the last time you saw her, you've noticed that she has a bit of a red scale freckling on her face, and that her eyes look a bit more emerald than last time.
Erna,
Yes?
She has cleaned her face by this point. It appears you are looking well.
You can say it. Irina shrugs. Dragon magic.
I see.
Being an influence, I kind of remove the influence of a certain fat wanker.
The one who will be stabbed, yes.
Her eye is twitching.
The one who will be stabbed.
Breathe,
Yes.
Erina. He can't affect you here.
It's true. I have not felt his influence in quite a long time.
Oh. Well, it appears that Smaug's influence is far better for you than the
Oh,
one who will be stabbed.
He's a wonderful conversationalist.
I imagine so.
Oh, we are to set off to Rivendell.
Yes.
Hopefully we want to run in. So what's our mountains looking like? Horses, spiders?
Spider horses.
I'm gonna say you get some horses, just because I don't want to have a bajillion talking NPCs.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, you're already riding with Klaus, the dragon, and Sauron, and then we're gonna have to add one ambassador from each of the regions. So
That's fair.
I'm gonna save myself a little bit of a headache.
You get
That's fair.
horses, motherfucker.
You get horses.
Alright, so let's ride off.
Get on, Pinkie Pie.
So she's riding a horse, not a pony.
We can't get magical horses anymore. Gandalf's not here.
Yeah, Gandalf
Yeah.
died.
Oh.
I imagine Gandalf died because Helm Hammerhand killed him to take back his fucking ponies.
Jesus.
Gandalf, you son of a bitch!
Off to Rivendell.
Oh man, I missed some good points in my conversation outline. Oh well, it happens. It was good. We got enough done.
I'm sorry.
It's
It was
alright.
well paced.
I'll go over some of the points in the aftermath. So you ride. The days pass pretty easily. You have a path around Mirkwood that you go through the mountains that was illustrated by the goblins and the spiders that allows you to avoid the Mirkwood elves and get through the Misty Mountains to the other side without much trouble. And it takes you a few days, but eventually you do reach the doors of Rivendell. And Rivendell 2 is changed from last you saw it. Not as starkly as Erebor has changed, but it is noticeably changed. Mainly because when you approach the elf greeting party that meets you, along with their velociraptor mounts, are decidedly more punk rock looking. There are mohawks, undercuts, piercings.
Shit.
They've mixed in a lot of black into their attire, but they still have plenty of color.
He was baffled by the look of them.
Basically British punk rock at this point.
Yeah, it's very 80s British punk.
Fuck yeah.
It's very The Clash.
She is visibly confused when she sees them.
A medieval version of The Clash and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. That's what's going on. They've even got some fucking plaid mixed in.
Irina doesn't know why, but she feels feeling that can only be described as culturally appropriated.
This is
I feel
turning
this
into
is
an.
slightly anachronistic.
This is
From the 40s.
this is turning into like an anti-Lovecraft story.
It is. I'm
Instead
like,
of being the dangers of miscegenation, it's about the joys of cultural mingling.
yeah.
And sure enough, Glockenspiel approaches you all and is like, Lady Sotra and Lady Arano! Oh, pleasure to have you at Rivendell again. Have your other friends come to join you as well?
No, we are on a mission from Erebor. We have been sent to summon an ambassador for a council in regards to a certain you know who.
Oh, how strange. I would have thought that you were just doing a reunion. After all, um, Durza is already here.
Oh, is
We
she?
have,
Yes, she regaled us with thrilling exploits of her voyage back to Mordor and the daring escape from its gates. And she's been spending quite a bit of time researching in our libraries.
I see. I would like to see Durza.
you
I
know
think.
you know who has amassed is beginning to amass his armies. I would like to speak with Elrond as quickly as possible.
Just to be fair, you are talking about Sauron and not the evil wizard from noted bigot J.K. Rowling's famous books Harry Potter.
Yes. Yes, we are.
Oh, good, because I did not want to think that Voldemort was real.
We have come to get. God damn it. Sauron is amassing an army, and we are getting. We
We
wish.
need to form a sort of parliament fellowship. I don't know what you call it. To meet at form a council at Erebor.
Well, of course. I'll see if I can get Elrond. He's been locked away in his study for a long time. I'll see if I can get him to meet with you as well. But first, let's go to the library.
Oh, the
And you guys-
library.
You guys go to the library, and in there, sure enough, you see amid a stack of books is none other than Durza, now wearing much more badass-looking armor than last time.
Oh.
Which says something, because she had a pretty rad look to begin with.
So Durza just does not notice you when you enter the room. She just seems completely engrossed in like this very old elven tome, and there's a stack of tomes next to her, like as tall as she is. And she does still have Glamdring slung over her shoulder, and it's just glowing faintly because she is an orc. Though you can almost miss the fact she was an orc, because the armor she's wearing is decidedly human, and also very old, maybe even Numenorian, at the very least Gondorian. And if she was wearing a helmet, she could probably pass as not an orc at all, because she's just covered from head to toe in mail and war attire.
Ooh. Sutra Caesar considers size. Hail, Durza.
Durza will look up from the tome and will say, "Hail, Sotra. What brings you to Rivendell?"
We have come because some distressing things have begun to occur.
The Mouth of Sauron appeared at Erebor.
And was seeking both Smaug and the goblins and the dwarves to come and assist him in his army.
Good news is, Smaug is fairly certain he doesn't have the One Ring.
The bad news is, even without, he is still dangerous.
Durza just hums and nods and then says, "Yes, I have been to the south, and all the destitute and discarded of Middle-earth are flocking to the Black Gate.
That's not good.
Or-
How did you get out? One does not simply walk out of Mordor.
No. I was harried, and they attempted to press me into the Dark Lord's service. I was forced to slay several orcs on my way out, and to hide many times as orcish riders passed by in heavy armor, unlike any that I've seen in my lifetime in Mordor."
New armor? Are they creating new armor for themselves?
They seem to have possibly. I couldn't get into the heart of Mordor, but I suspect that the industry of Mordor is in full swing, and that they are forging weapons of war and armor.
Let's see. We have come
There are
together.
also trolls and others, maybe even men or dwarves, flocking to Sauron's service.
Men and dwarves?
Possibly. I've seen many numerous forces heading towards the Black Gate.
More than orcs and trolls. Interesting. Not in a good way.
I think Sauron appeals to the lesser, those who are treated lesser in Middle Earth, but they don't realize that they'll be thrown in chains once they are under his control.
That does line up as a sales pitch.
Rather a flaw in his thinking, I believe.
I love soft ring Sauron so much.
He's Ring Sauron is just seething right now.
I mean, it's
He's been
becoming rather
seething for
apparent
several
that this is
months.
just driving people against him.
After I left Mordor, I came here and started poring over tomes from the earliest ages of Middle-earth that are in this library, trying to understand the history of the orcs and elves and of Mordor, and hoping to understand perhaps what exactly it is that draws so many people to Sauron, and perhaps find a way to break the ranks of his army without fighting it head on.
Did you find anything?
Smaug has a idea, which is to unite all the races of Middle Earth together, and in turn, which might deter Sauron or cause dissent in his ranks from seeing such a united front. He's only
Yes, we-
able to get such appeal because everyone is disunited and at each other's throats.
Yes, we show that we are united as well. And Sauron does not have as much say as he. That means Sauron does not have as much say as he used to.
But wouldn't that require you to convince the men and elves of Middle-earth not to hate orcs, goblins, trolls, spiders, and others?
Well,
And
Erebor
convince the orcs and goblins and trolls not to hate men and elves. A tall task.
Erebor has been a good case experiment for that. Been going well there, with everyone living together so far.
as I saw Erebor, it's a fascinating place as it currently is. I
Either way,
believe.
we have been tasked to form a council to discuss the best solution on dealing with Sauron. I am going to be meeting envoys and ambassadors from here, the Shire, perhaps Isengard, Gondor, Rohan, the Dwarves.
Yes.
Thank
It
you. Someone else dealing with Mirkwood, so we will not have to deal with that.
Yes, I would rather not go to Morkwood again. Ever again.
Apparently, I've seen a wanted poster for myself because apparently the king's leg is.
Oh yes, I have heard that his leg is quite gone.
Yeah, he's a one-legged king now. They had to amputate.
Marina says that's straight face, but inside she's quite smug.
He is affectionately known as King Hopscotch now.
You should
Yeah.
come with us. The way it has been safe so far, but it may not stay so. And I would rather not be just me and Erina the only ones who could defend ourselves.
Yes, I think I will come with you. It seems Sauron has made his move, or at least upped his game if he is trying to recruit dragons, and my time to study seems to have run out. It's time to act.
Yes, I agree. She offers a hand to Durza.
Durza takes the hand and stands up and sits the book down back on the stack.
We are currently seeking audience with Elrond, but
At that moment, you all hear the sound of footsteps creaking on the wooden floor as what appears to be a teenage human boy in outdoorsy clothes walks into the room with muddy boots, sort of looks around, sees a poetry section, heads right towards there, and grabs what is clearly a book of love poems.
What?
He flips through the book, scans a page, flips a few more, scans a page, smiles, puts a little bookmark in there, and immediately rushes out of the room.
Oh,
Then 30 seconds later, you hear, no, 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 no. And you see Elrond dragging the boy across the hall. You are not talking to my daughter.
Come on, Elrond! You can't deny true love!
Elrond throws the boy down the hall. Not like super violently, just like a push. And then heads back into the library.
Little bastard wants to fuck my daughter.
He sees you. Sorry, you had to hear that, lady. There's Lady Erina and Lady Sotra. Welcome back to Rivendell. It's such a pleasure to have you both here.
I wish we could be here on better circumstances, but the Mouth of Sauron has been to Erebor trying to recruit Smaug.
Oh,
He
dear.
failed! Smaug basically told him to fuck off, to put it in vulgar terms.
Well, that's good.
But
What?
I have been sent to convene a council at Erebor.
Council?
Sauron-
Wish I had thought of that. Get it? Because council. Elrond.
Yeah, we have been sent to form a council for all the main factions and races of Middle-earth to try to figure out what to do about Sauron.
if we hold a united front, that will
Well.
at least give Sauron pause.
I think that's an interesting and good and noble idea if we can get it to work, but I have to maintain the fort here. We've had some goblin incursions. The Mirkwood elves are still on rocky terms. And without Gandalf, there's no one to really look over this side of the mountains, so...
Do you have any sort of ambassador you can send with us?
Yes,
Well,
if we
let me-
could communicate all together.
His eyes widen, and a very mischievous smile spreads across.
No!
I know exactly who I can send. And he rushes out of the library, and you see him seconds later dragging that teenage boy back in there. He's like, Strider, I have a very important mission for you as a friend of Rivendell.
Your
What?
Highness?
This is Strider. He's a ranger of the north, and I am giving him the power to speak for those of us in Rivendell, seeing as he seems to want a position of leadership in here. What? Strider, you're going to be
Yes.
our ambassador. We're going to... These lovely ladies are going to take you to Erebor. You're going to talk to the dragon's about a dragon. And you're going to speak on our behalf about a coming war.
What?
Have fun. And then Elrond leaves the room, and you see this gangly, like, he looks like to be like 16 years old boy, just sort of standing next to you, like,
So, what?
I was hoping for someone more qualified, but
She looks down at Strider.
I mean, you don't really look down at him because, like, I mean, he's like 16 years old, so he's actually, like, pretty tall.
Yeah, but Sotra's pretty tall, too.
Aragorn is a Numenorian descendant. He is canonically very, very tall.
Gotcha.
And
she looks
also, canonically at this point, older than 16, but he looks 16.
He's 65.
What the fuck?
You don't
he was
know
in
that,
his
though.
hundreds. I think he was in his hundreds by the time the fellowship happened.
Uh-huh.
Jesus. She looks at him, trying very hard not to make a face. Hello.
Hi. My name's Strider. I'm a ranger. I hang out here a lot, but I go all around. So you guys need me to guide you on a trip and
No.
speak for Rivendell?
Yes.
Our next stop is the Shire.
We are gathering a council. And you are part of that council.
Oh, okay. Oh, man. And then he gets a mischievous smile. I gotta tell Arwen. Can you give me 2 seconds?
No.
This is the funniest shit
I
ever.
really
have to go to the bathroom.
She's glaring at him.
I
You're
really
going
do.
to-
It's really bad. And he
You're
starts
going to-
like holding his legs close together.
You're going to go speak to Elrond's daughter, aren't you?
No, I just have to go to the bathroom, pack some things because it's a trip, right? I need to pack some things for the trip.
Go get your things.
All right, and he darts out of the place.
I thought I was going to be parenting less during this trip.
Windows, fuck off.
10 minutes later, Strider meets up with you. He does not have any stuff packed, but he's got a very big smile on his face. All right, let's go assemble a council, see the world, have a real cool adventure that I can tell stories about.
All right.
Where are your things, Strider?
Oh, I'm a ranger. I don't need that much.
What did you take, Strider?
A shit?
All right, Strider. Lead us the way.
All right, cool. And Strider leads you
know where the
outside. He
Shire
gets
is,
onto his. Oh yeah, of course I know the Shire. He gets onto his Velociraptor. Come on, and he rides out.
Aragorn has a horse movie, but instead of a horse, it's a velociraptor.
Oh, she turns to Dursa and Erina. I hate this already.
Dursa just rolls her eyes and just rolls her eyes and says, "I can't believe that passes as a ranger."
I can't believe Elrond sent a child with us.
Arena just looks to the little dragon on their shoulder. Flat face, hands it a meat ration.
They don't know that he's Numenorian.
Who said that? Dragon?
Little dragon, yeah. Quietly to Erina.
Since apparently Klaus can speak it, doesn't mean the dragon also has blind speech in Arena's head.
Yeah, I mean it is for your familiar.
Alright.
3 voices in her head. My God.
It's a party!
What is a Numenorian, Fendragon? A Numenorian? Oh, well, Numenorians were sort of the first men, in a way. Very strong, very long-lived. There aren't that many left, though. Could he be? Oh,
Dun, dun,
that line is
dun.
sorry,
Dramatic
just
music.
thinking about one of my past bearers. He was also Numenorian.
Oh, jeez.
It's a giant dick shit, too.
Oh, I forget.
An just an absolute cockwaffle of a person.
I forget what ring did Sotra have?
Erida, if I told you how he went out, would it freak you out or would you have a good laugh? Okay, so this dipshit, this absolute fucking knob has a ring of immense power. Riding out one day, gets shot full of arrows by a couple of goblins, falls into a river, gets washed away. Incidentally, was stuck in that river for a very long time. And then this fat little fuck picked me out, and he became like a slimy cave monster. Bad scene. You met him, Gollum, or whatever the hell his name was.
Ah, yes. Didn't he reform himself and now he has pants and a tie?
Listen, he had pants and a tie when he picked me up. That didn't make him any different.
I mean, fair.
I think he found his truth in that cave, and his truth is being a slimy little weasel. Just a real piece of shit.
Only if more business majors admitted that.
In the past few months, Sauron has learned from you guys as well and is taking ranks in sass. So, as you guys are traveling along the road, Strider, in a fairly competent fashion, does scout ahead quite often, and does so very stealthily. And he's taking trail markings and occasionally informing you of what he finds about like wild game in case you guys need to stop and get something to eat. He stops ahead and he says, "There's a suspicious old man just kind of sitting at the crossroads."
What? An old man?
Old man, really old, I think, because he's like tiny.
Oh dear God, no! She grabs him by the shoulders. Is he wearing a hat?
Yeah, he had a hat. It was a very strange hat. It looked to be of a Western fashion.
Did he have
no?
Did he have some sort of musical lute or instrument?
Yeah, he had a really funny looking lute. You guys met this guy before?
No, we did not.
Big full mustache too.
Jesus Christ.
Erida, don't you think that might be Crambone?
Yes, but we want to recruit him is the thing.
Take us around him, Strider.
Okay. Are you sure we should do that? He's an old friend of yours, and I sort of liked his style of humor.
We'll need everyone we can get.
We're putting the band back together!
Also, Klaus would feel very bad if we didn't.
I would feel bad.
Yeah, Klaus would feel bad.
I'm sorry.
Oh
God,
crossroads is Crambone.
All right, cool. I'm gonna put my stuff down for a second. Get some air, because Jesus Christ, oh God, no, it's Crambone.
Like you're meeting the fucking devil at the crossroads. Jesus Christ, guys.
I mean, in a way.
and in a sense, as you come around, you almost think it is like a 3.5 foot tall devil, because he looks like Crambone, but he's dressed all in black, which is weird, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh no,
and
it's Death Country.
Guess what? I'm pulling from inspiration this time around. Johnny Cash.
Oh, that's better.
Well, yeah. I like the whole little, anyways, that's side tangents. So he's standing there. He doesn't look as chipper as you remember him being. Chomping on what probably looks like the last bit of a cigar, and there's a little horse tied to a tree. And he looks up and he goes, "Ah, fuck."
The feeling is mutual.
Howdy. it's good to see you again, Sotra. How you doing? Erina, there's a teenager.
Crambone.
You can call me Strider. These guys
Strider.
had a really weird reaction to me seeing you on the road.
Shut up, Strider.
And he just kind of like, I expect as much.
Hello,
build-
Crambone.
We're en route to the Shire. Would you like to accompany?
Yeah, fuck it. I haven't been there in a while. And he just like puts out the last bit of the cigarette in the dirt, stomps on it with his bare feet because Hobbit, and just like, all right, let me go get my old horse. I'm calling it Bugger because I couldn't think of a good insect name to call it. And he just kind of,
Name a horse after an insect.
I don't know. I was vibing Roach for a while. Didn't feel right though.
Classic Crambone.
Sauron is incredibly fun as Grandma, and it makes me fucking laugh. Jesus.
You know, y'all been doing all right in the last couple of? Has it been months? I think it's been months.
I'm doing well.
I've been doing really great, Crambone, Strider says.
That's good, Strider. I don't quite remember meeting you the first time around, but it's a pleasure to meet you now.
You don't remember the adventure we had across the river in Mirkwood? I saved your life.
I'm gonna roll an insight on that because he's just gonna like give a look.
Let's roll
cool.
deception.
Unfortunately, insight's a wisdom thing, and I don't have that. I'm a
Nine.
bard.
8, you failed!
Well, I mean, to be fair, it was a very obvious lie.
Very obvious. It's like, all right, I like you, youngin. You can stay.
Strider wasn't trying to convince him; he was just trying to fuck with him.
God damn
That
it.
don't change nothing. I like this guy. I see why you have him around.
Yeah, we're doing a pretty important mission. It's gonna be real cool. Gonna impress a lot of girls. We're gonna.
You are a
council.
teenager.
Excuse you, Strider?
What? You're telling
What
me
are
you're
you
not the
doing?
type who wants to impress a lot of girls?
No.
Huh. Well, whatever floats your boat.
That part of my life is long past. We are on a mission.
Yeah, we're on a mission from Gid.
Oh, God. Oh. You fucking bard.
You just hear the strange sound of Arena cocking her gun.
Strider,
So,
Damn it.
you... If you want to impress any girls, you need to take this mission seriously.
Who found the old dude on the road before anyone else? I'm taking this mission plenty serious.
I mean, he's got a point there for you.
Trust me, I don't think we could have avoided Crambone if we tried.
Finding Crambone is not something that you need to pat yourself on the shoulder for.
Normally, I'm not. They knew me in a. He got a pause, like in a better mood. Looking at them, it's like, don't worry about it. They're gonna say a lot of shit.
hard times hits Crambone? I hope not.
Sotra raises an eyebrow and looks at Crambone.
What's the matter, best friend? Something wrong? And he's gonna.
Now she glares.
There's the familiar face of Sotra. I was wondering if everything was all right. And he just kind of like, come on, we got places to be.
You're getting the band back together. Fantastic.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of how this works. I figured that whole thing with Gandalf being dead should be back sooner or later. I had some stuff I needed to take care of.
As did I.
I suppose the party from our last adventure isn't the worst group we could assemble.
Far from it. I
We did convince the Smaug the Glorious to not incinerate us, and
I mean, to be fair, we kind of broke all records, I think, in that book of just plain old asking Dragon, hey, could you just, like,
chill the fuck out.
chill the fuck out? I didn't even we didn't even give him nothing. We were just like, hey, you could just stop. And he was like, you know what? That makes sense.
Well, I come from
Strider-
Mirkwood.
A dark cloud sort of spreads across Strider's face. He's like, you guys knew Gandalf too?
We did.
I
The one who originally recruited us to deal with Smaug.
Dude.
I fell out of his closet.
Can you tell me your Gandalf story sometime? He was kind of important to me.
Oh,
Sure, I can tell you about the one time back in the Shire where he tried to steal somebody's pies.
That old bastard loved pies.
That old bastard did love him some pies. And there was,
You guys tell Gandalf stories until you reach the Shire itself.
And about how Arena just fell out of his closet.
It's about sunset, and sadly, when you enter the Shire, nothing much seems to have changed. You know,
Except there's a new house.
there is a new house, and there's some minor things, the way that over time things change in any town, but it's not as dramatic a transformation as some of the others you've seen of places you've went. The Shire seems in many ways very stagnant, but there is a new house. And at said house, there are two people. Who
Are
can
we thinking
now...
of the same house?
I'm assuming... Dorothy Mimosa, it's your time. Tell us what you're doing.
Well, Dorothy, after the adventure, went to Rivendell, met up with one of those elf girls, ended up bringing her back to the Shire, and now they're engaged.
So we do not live in the same house, TC.
Dorothy needed to make a second house that's taller than a hobbit hole because, you know...
She's a bit bigger than a hobbit.
But, you know, it's right next to Mimosa's. She doesn't want to venture too far.
Mimosa's outside.
On
watching-
closer inspection, it appears to be a repurposed barn.
Mimosa's outside on her bench, just kind of watching the sunset. So she sees all of you coming up the walkway, and you can see her visibly drop her head into her hands.
the feeling is mutual.
As they're coming up, one of your neighbors, Mimosa's like, "Oh, that must be those strangers they were talking about." You sure? I thought it was just the one. No, there can't be that many strangers in the Shire.
Crambone just gives a glare. You just like, shut up.
Strider strolls up on his Velociraptor and is like, "Hey."
Mimosa glances up and down at him, at his Velociraptor, and then back at the other, and then she gestures like, "Who? Why?"
Mimosa, this is Strider.
What's up? I'm a Dunedain. You're a bounder, right?
Yeah. Can't say I've ever seen you around the Shire. Must be better at your job than some of your fellows.
Well, I'm normally stationed a bit up further. Have you met Wiglaf?
Would I have?
Yeah, he's a Dunedain who patrols this area.
Yeah, I've worked with him a few times. He's pretty good at it.
He's a pretty chill bro.
Mimosa, we wish to be here on better circumstances.
What? Oh, so you are Mimosa. Okay, good. I thought so.
Yeah.
You know of Mimosa?
Yeah, Wiglaf has some stories.
He would, yeah.
I can imagine your stories, Mimosa.
Yeah, and that's all you're gonna get, too. So I'm guessing, seeing all of you assembled again and strolling up into the goddamn Shire, kitted out for war, I'm guessing we're going to be doing something about the Sauron shit that happened.
Yeah, we're on a mission from Gid.
I mean, to be fair, they just kind of showed up out of nowhere. I'm just here for the ride again.
Fantastic. Give me 1 second. She goes into her hobbit hole, and you can hear rummaging and everything for just like 15 minutes or so. She comes back out, and you see her decked out in full elven armor, with all of her road gear ready and slung over her back, and she locks her hobbit hole and goes, well, let's fucking go then.
Before that,
is there anyone of political power in the Shire we could get as sort of an ambassador? We've been sent by Erebor to form a council of how to handle the Sauron situation.
I'm 95% sure Mimosa herself can count for that.
Look, the Shire has a Thane. The Shire has maybe a few sheriffs and the Bounders. That's about all the political play that we have. You can ask the Thane what he thinks, but I think me and Crambone are pretty much the only hobbits that are going to come with you.
we could at least try.
Fair enough.
You can if you'd like.
I would
I
love
probably should go get Gorothy. Y'all can go
Gorothy's
ahead
front-
and or go ahead.
That's about when Gorothy's front door swings open and she steps out, wearing a bloodied apron. Hey, Mims, I'm gonna need some water, some coriander, and some thyme in that order. And coming from inside the house, you can plainly see smoke billowing out.
I think you need the water first.
That's what I said. Oh, hey guys.
Hello, Dorothy.
Evening, Gorothy. Been a bit.
And I'm afraid all of that's going to have to wait, Gorothy. I'm off on that trip that I told you I was going to take.
Oh, right now?
Right now.
Were you expecting this, Mimosa?
Look,
You weren't?
look,
I was.
Mimosa looks really pissed off right now. She says, we got word that Gandalf was murdered by the Sauron guy, right? Murdered.
Yeah.
That's my wizard. If I have to march into Mordor and rip that fucking tower down to get to Sauron, I'll do it.
I missed you, Mimosa.
I missed her too.
I guess
Why?
it's awfully short notice, but I
You
guess
have
I can
terrible
put this
taste.
away. Dorothy takes off the apron, wads it up, and tosses it inside.
You're coming? I'm not surprised, but
I'm not about to let my BFF go off on an adventure without me.
Everyone
Sure,
make perception checks.
What about your
Okay.
house?
Oh yeah, the one skill I don't have. Crambo's just like,
Marina, Marina,
Mimosa, Arana, Durza, and Gorothy. You all notice as you're having this conversation that the hobbits have been, keeping their distance but been bustling about their work up until just now, at which point all of them simultaneously look towards the road and then hustle back into their houses. You look towards the road and you see a rider on a large black horse dressed entirely in black body-concealing robes and gunmetal gray armor riding up the road.
well, I don't see that. So
we have company.
one spins around.
The rider stops at the foot of the driveway and turns their hooded head towards you, and somehow, I guess from just the size of the hood, you can't see the person's face in the shadow cast beneath it.
Identify yourself.
Excuse me, but have any of you seen a ring?
No.
not in particular.
Rambo, didn't you have a song about a ring?
Is it? Yes. What's this song about a ring?
It was some kind of ring of fire. Why don't you sing it?
Oh, yes, it sounds like a magic ring you're singing about.
Oh god, I'm gonna have to go look up lyrics now. God damn it.
Alright, you look in your pack for lyrics, but the rest of you, are you sure you have... I'm sorry, just give me a second.
And he sort of struggles to get off his...
God, big horse.
Struggles to get off his horse for a second, lands on the ground of a bit of a plot, dusts himself off with arms that you realize are now a little bit too long, and then says,
Hail and well met, I am Cecil.
Would Socher know what this is?
I don't think so.
Saying anything.
"Oh god damn it!"
Would Socher know what a ring wraith is?
Make a knowledge history check.
Alrighty. Well, that is where's history. That's one thing she doesn't have. Fantastic. Oh, but she got a 15.
You know that black riders are rarely good things.
Durza's only got a 16. I rolled first.
Yeah.
With this.
Well, okay, Durza, you lived in Mordor though. This guy is definitely some sort of wraith or wight. The undead servants of Sauron, of which there are many. You don't know well enough to know that he is a ring wraith, like specifically a Nazgul, but he's definitely some sort of corporeal ghost.
Yeah, so Durza's gonna put her hand on the hilt of her sword, but she's not.
Well, no need for such hostilities. I understand that my appearance is somewhat foreboding, but I assure you it is only because I am, horribly deformed.
That's nothing to be ashamed of. I know lots of horribly deformed people.
Our people are very prejudiced.
Well, that's just fucked up. You won't find any of that around here.
About any rings. My friends would be so stoked if I was the one who found it. They'd say, Cecil, you did something right.
Your
Damn!
Your friends in Mordor?
Whoa! Whoa! Oh, wait a minute. You're an orc! Okay. And that's a goblin. Okay, well, no, I'm not native to there, but I've heard it's lovely.
Where are you from?
Sheneriton.
I've heard of that place.
Yes, it's very normal. So, ring.
Didn't it get hit with an earthquake recently?
Did it?
Yeah, split a mountain right in two or something.
Oh, no.
Can I insight him?
Yeah, you can insight this.
Ted!
10. You believe Generiton is a real place.
God damn it.
I rolled an insight check as well.
Are people okay?
Only Crambones got high.
God, I should go. Oh, God. Oh, but we're in a war. Oh, shit. I can't ask for time off. Oh, damn it. Okay, well, obviously, way to solve this, find the ring. So, rings. Any lost jewelry? Do you know of any place I can find lost or recovered jewelry?
I think the town hall has a lost and found.
Shit! Why didn't I check that first? All right, thank you. And he hops back on his horse and rides off.
I'm pretty sure Liquid Elves lost a bunch of rings.
We all have rings.
And we all like
wearing rings.
we all wear.
Dorothy holds up one of her hands, and her smallest finger has a nice little silver ring on the smallest finger. Dawn got me a new ring just the other day.
Oh, I heard you got engaged. Congratulations.
I know.
I'm excited for y'all.
Dawn and I, we're engaged now. Didn't I tell you?
No, I have not seen you in months.
Ah. Well,
Who is this dog?
she is the love of my life.
Tell us what else you'd like to
know who this Dawn is.
Who is Dawn? Wait.
So,
Is she the elf?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations!
We had it up in the slumber party.
meanwhile, Irene is asking the ring, it's like, do you know anything about what that was? You seem very disenthused.
Erina, that was a Nazgul, a ring wraith. So, not that I'm an expert on this sort of thing, but long ago, the Dark Lord Sauron made a whole bunch of rings, and he gave them to people as part of a sort of elaborate trick to make them his slaves. And it didn't work on most of the people he gave rings to, but it did work on these 9 chump kings. And now they serve his will forevermore. That was Cecil, easily the least of the Nazgûl, so you have that going for you, but despite his incompetence, he is a very powerful opponent.
Huh.
Sotra is 1,000-yard staring.
Dawn pops
Hey.
out of the house and is like, Dorothy, you're missing... Oh, you have friends! Would you all like to stay for dinner?
Sure. Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, honey.
Hi.
They're going on a big trip. I might end up getting dragged along soon.
Oh, another adventure?
Yeah.
Are you going to meet more dragons this time?
Oh. Are we?
I love the story of how that turned out.
Meanwhile, the little dragon on Irina's shoulders is munching on a ration.
I suppose it's possible. I mean, I didn't expect us to befriend Smaug, so... If anyone were to find any more dragons, I suppose we could.
Strider adjusts his belt and is like, Miss Dawn, pleasure to see you again. Strider! How are things with you and Arwen? They're going pretty good. Yeah, we're on a mission from Gad, so we're going to be
Oh my
visiting
God.
different places.
Sotra smacks him upside the head.
We're mostly going to be... Ow! We're going to be mostly visiting, you know, elves and dwellings, so we're probably not going to meet that many dragons, but if we do meet and befriend any dragons, we'll be sure to tell you the tale. Oh, Strider, you little flirt.
Oh, is the venison extinguished?
Yes, the venison is no longer on fire.
Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna get to try that smoked recipe I've been wanting to.
Yeah, dragon style.
Yeah.
Strider turns to Sotra. They're a cute couple.
Scorched on the outside, bloody on the inside.
I suppose they are.
Darza's just been watching this, and she's slowly starting to smile. As dour as she was with the whole ring raid situation, the situation with Dawn and Dorothy is improving her mood.
Sotra's not smiling, but she's no longer 1,000-yard staring.
Crambone is smiling, but it's not as boisterous as you guys probably remember it being. It's a little more down-tuned.
Crambone saw some shit in the time skip.
Also, the ring wants to be found, so... That's interesting.
Why don't you all come in and we can talk while sitting down?
Well,
I suppose
Uh,
that would...
I suppose we won't be harried by any more Nazgûls. We don't
By
have
any
them.
what?
That was a Nazgûl.
And Darza is not smiling.
What? What?
Strider's face turns pale.
That was a race sent to look at find the One Ring.
Oh,
It was a
Shit.
but that also means that Sauron does not have the One Ring. Why would he be still looking for it? He didn't.
There's
He wasn't
wasn't actually just deformed.
But it
Erina.
means the Nazgul are awake.
Erina. That means it's a fucking Nazgul going down to the lost and goddamn found.
Alright. I'll go have a talking with him. What's the first that can happen?
Ramon? No.
Yeah, old dude, you don't want to mess with the Nazgul, okay? They're the 9 most powerful servants of Sauron.
If the Nazgul are awake, then the Valar only know what other hideous things have awakened in Mordor. The Sauron.
Isn't that what you said about the spiders, though?
The spiders did not perpetuate genocide, slavery, and warfare across all of Middle-earth. They just ate a few people.
The spiders were as much victims as other races were.
Oh my god, you two have come so far.
I do not like the energy that I'm getting of you two being together as a team. That is weird. I am not comfortable with this.
They were always the ones who agreed the most.
And then Strider whispers to you to Crambone, you're telling me they weren't a couple before this? Because that was why?
Crambo just breaking up in laughter, just like, oh my god. Strider, you can stay as long as you like. Oh my god, no. Sotra had such a different tune last time I heard her. Oh, You can tell him, Sotra. It's your story about how you hated everything that existed and breathed.
Glaring at the both of them. Ramon, Strider, why don't you go deal with the Nazgul in the Lost and Found?
Yeah, I was trying to!
Strider, why don't you go with him?
Let's not deal with the Nazgul.
I mean, listen, I'm a capable ranger. I feel that's a bit out of my pay grade.
Why don't we just gonna move on? Because that one seems like he's kind of an idiot.
Well,
I mean,
we were going to stay for dinner. I don't know much.
Probably should do something. He's fucking around with hobbits. I mean, no offense, Mimosa, but most hobbits are like fat and stupid.
From what I know,
shit!
from what I know of the Nazgul, it would take someone like Gandalf or Smaug.
When I said deal with them, I did not mean fight them, Durza. I think they should just do what they did the first time and convince him to go another way.
I mean, I don't
like an idiot.
I don't want to fight them alone, but I don't think that we should just leave them around.
I'm just going to go talk to him. It's a
should...
free world. Ain't nobody stopping me.
All right.
We can drop a false...
I'll accompany Crambone here, but like, if this goes bad, I'm running for you guys to go help. Okay?
Don't fight him.
I'm coming with you.
You can drop a false lead. Tell him you saw a ring somewhere.
That's why I said to go to Mirkwood.
I'll accompany both of you. Hopefully I can convince him to go somewhere else with more rings. Perhaps.
Tell him to go to Mirkwood.
Do you think that wasn't my first option?
I mean, that was my kind of general consensus. We've already said fuck Mirkwood, if Mirkwood's already not belonging to the Dark Lord himself.
I would not be surprised.
the king's missing an entire leg. That's one full leg of rings he's no longer using.
You know better. Stop that.
As much as I dislike the elves, they are also an entire kingdom far more capable of dealing with a Nazgul if they have to than a bunch of peaceful halflings.
I mean, if we're being completely honest, I'm not sure this Nazgul's much
Mimosa.
of a Nazgul. You
Mimosa.
know what I mean?
Mimosa, they could not deal with you.
Sotra,
Mimosa's on the.
my nephew lives down that way.
I agree. We should send him to Merc.
And
my point is,
Caramone's already gone walking down the road. It's like
Okay.
we're wasting too much time.
Strider is after him on a fucking velociraptor.
Dorothy looks up to Dawn. Sweetie, I should probably help him with that before things get too comical for their own good.
Okay, I can set the chicken to like a low heat, and that way it'll still be warm for you when you get back. Okay.
Thank you. Hopefully this shouldn't take too long.
All right,
And
just one more thing, and she grabs your face and she plants you like a very big, full, long kiss.
Aww.
You come back to me. You come
Trust
back
me.
to me, okay?
I promise.
I'll make sure of
Don't
it.
get a doll face.
I swear on my life, I'll make sure she gets back.
Meanwhile, Arena's asking, okay, what do you guys think is the best thing to do in her head?
Okay. Well, Cecil is gullible. If you get him talking, you can probably convince him to fuck off. I mean, sorry, I'm catching some of your slang. You can convince him to leave. We can also shoot him with a gun! There's some prophecies that could possibly twist up, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to be enough on its own. Still, though, shooting is always an option. Yes.
Klaus, what has become of you?
Listen, when we tore off that elf man's leg from his body, I never felt more alive. I feel that sometimes the forces of evil deserve stern punishment. That's dark, buddy.
That's the Lord of people.
I've seen some things, Ring. I know. Santa can't hurt you now. Every night I dream of his horrors.
Aww.
Can't hurt you anymore. I promise. Santa Claus will never hurt you again.
Holy shit.
Expecting Klaus and Sauron and the ring.
Sister goes up to Dawn. So,
The sex is gymnastic.
oh my god! Sister's face is like, and she turns back around.
That is what you were going to ask about, right?
No,
I mean, you and Tirza, though.
no. Excuse me.
Mimosa can hear this, and she starts laughing as she starts following Eric. Just bursts out into laughter.
So,
Nobody. No.
Okay.
So, has any of you heard from Flogadol?
I imagine we'll meet him on the way.
Wait, you mean Flog of, what's that town by
Bree?
Bree? I forget the name of it. It's not Bree, it's a town by Bree, like... jeez.
Mimosa's
It'll
not
be
here.
good to see Flog again.
It's gonna be bugging me
Someone
all
else with some sense.
Guys, can we take a real quick break? I got Shannon clocked out early.
Yeah, totally.
I'll see you in just a few.
Alright, I wish to state for the record that Grambone doing this is in fact incredibly dumb, and he knows it's dumb. But they already have expectations of him doing it, and well, might as well, right?
Also, Sauron apparently does not want to be found by Cecil.
Cecil's an idiot.
He's not an idiot, he's incompetent. There's a slight but noticeable difference.
Fair enough. Also, I wish to state for the record that Grambone is in fact riding a regular horse and not a pony. So he is a very small man on top of a very big horse.
Also, welcome back, Raves.
Raves?
Yeah, he's around.
Yeah, he's been here.
Yep.
What happened?
What?
Did you get into project today?
No, just wasn't feeling that great.
Oh. I'm sorry to hear that, Race.
You up for
it's
hopping in the
fine.
session, or are you gonna wait for the next one?
Oh, I'm here, and I'm in the roll 20.
Yep,
Alright,
so
cool.
cool.
Glad to have you.
We can fit it in pretty seamlessly since we're basically in the getting the band back together phase.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we
that's
just
perfect.
got to the Shire, so
Who's that one guy who stood in the background, never did any much, fucked off the last battle? We want him to come with us.
Well, we do.
we do.
Yeah.
It's not
joke.
your fault.
Yeah, it's
I
not
know,
your
I know.
fault.
Frog was
Shenanigans.
doing important things off screen during the last battle, I'll have you know.
Anyways.
Apparently people are shipping Durza and Sotra.
I am here for this Gorthy being
And-
engaged, Durza X Sotra, Mimosa, and fucking off is great.
Mimosa
I
and
don't-
Rage Against the World.
I don't have like expectations or demands for it to ever amount to anything. I just think it's funny for characters to consistently misinterpret the sort of rival tension between those two as also romantic tension.
Just
Well,
like
they're the
every
ones
other
who-
shipping community.
They're the ones who have, out of everyone here, those two have agreed more than, like, everyone else.
They've
No,
got a
I
Yuki and Kaiba thing going, and Yuki and Kaiba would have been a cute couple.
I know what that means. But okay.
I mean, I've seen those fan fictions. I wasn't into Yu-Gi-Oh, but there were some really written fan fictions. Where
I
I
don't
didn't
agree that they're a good couple, but they have a better fucking chemistry than any other possible ship in that fucking show. That's
I don't
saying
know.
much.
Pegasus and Card Games is a very good ship.
This is fair.
But yes, I really do need to have a one-on-one with you, Will, and determine what exactly Crambone did that turned him from
Yeah.
happy country boy to "Hi, I'm Johnny Cash, and I'm trying to pretend I'm not incredibly depressed."
A lot of people have very vague things they did during the time skip that could use some refinement.
Sotra went and spent
Got
time
it,
with her son, brought him to Airborne to be safe. Aaron saw her smiling.
It was terrifying.
Look! If anybody says that to Crambone, he's gonna be like, "Bullshit! You're a liar."
Mimosa got all her affairs in order, and now she's going to march directly into Mordor if it kills her. That is exactly what her mission is.
Sotra is determined to do what Gandalf wanted and make sure her son stays safe.
Crambone came back to make sure these idiots didn't die.
Arena is now a member of the Airborne nobility.
The Council of Erebor.
And Sotra cried when she left her son behind.
Durza actually had a really interesting story. She went back to Mordor, which is now militarizing, and was almost press ganged into the army and had to basically great escape her way out.
Metal Gear her way out of there.
Yeah.
Kind of amazing. I love it.
There's a solid snake. I can get behind this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she went to Rivendell to read up and study what the fuck is going on in Mordor, because she has never seen anything like that in her lifetime. Like, she's seen raiders and, petty warlords and, bad stuff in Mordor, but it's more like the Wild West and less, Nazi Germany. And so going back to Mordor was sort of a slap in the face to her, seeing how much it had changed.
And with orc culture at this time point, war, real war, is such a distant memory that it's something that's spoken of both reverently and fearfully, because on the one hand, it was the closest orcs ever came to establishing themselves as a sovereign nation of their own. On the other hand, the number of deaths orcs suffered at that, the amount of upheaval, the trauma that they underwent at the hands of war, of all the past wars, is immeasurable. And the idea of that coming again and replacing their lives of simple banditry and primitive fiefdoms is for some for an ambitious few orcs tantalizing, but for the vast majority it's terrifying. Especially because most of them believe they're not going to win because they've never won. And that is taken directly from one of my favorite scenes in, I believe, The Two Towers, or possibly Fellowship. I forget where the Shagrat and Gorbag conversation happens.
Two Towers.
Yeah, I think it's Two Towers.
Sotra is still her grumpy self, but less distrustful of everyone around her has been proven.
I am not sure about that, if I'm being honest with you. The instant, there's a man at the crossroads and you all go, oh no, it's Crambone, run away.
Hey, that's
I was
Crambone.
dying. I was dying over here.
She's still suspicious of the people, a lot of certain, especially certain types of people.
Listen, when you see a man dressed in all black at the crossroads, chances are you're either meeting a traveling musician or you're meeting Satan.
Unless he's dressed like a merchant and is simple and humble, then you're definitely meeting Satan.
Maybe that's what Crampo did in the 3 or 4 months he was gone. He just was like, well, time to go kill the boss, and just everyone's meeting up at the Balrog, and the Balrog's like, didn't you murder your boss? Yep. Why are you here? Got nothing better to do.
The reaction of Durza and Sotra both going, we missed you, Mimosa.
Yeah,
that was brilliant.
It's like, why? Terrible fucking taste, yo.
Look, Sotra, she's chiller. Well, she's not chill. She's far from chill. But she's slightly chiller now. But she doesn't mean she doesn't fucking love, the fact that Mimosa fucked all of her Aldmorphoid elves.
Yeah.
She fully expects them to do some kind of face turn at some point.
Yeah, Mimosa is just, really ready to go on this mission, but she's, going to take any opportunity that she has to completely fuck over what Sauron's doing. So, get ready for that.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's mad.
You killed my wizard, you bastard.
You killed my wizard.
No one should have to outlive their fictional wizard. Nobody!
Kill my somewhat foster father. Fuck you.
One of my favorite late Simpsons quotes. I guess it would be mid Simpsons now. God, that show's gone on forever.
No, I'm just trying to I'm sitting here what did Crambone go and do in 4 months that killed his entire mood? Well, every cowboy does have a posse, doesn't he?
And also, we're gonna elaborate more on this in further sessions, but things haven't exactly gotten better for Middle-earth as a whole since the end of the Hobbit arc. Things have gotten darker. Gandalf is dead. That's a significant blow. Erebor's doing really alright. And the dwarves who actually are willing to, approach the idea of living with goblins, dragons, and a couple of elves, and also a bunch of spiders, are doing well. But the dwarves who aren't.
Meanwhile, I wonder how the reverse engineering a musket is working in Erebor.
We'll see in a few sessions.
Yeah, at the time of the Lord of the Rings, everything was already a little tail spinning into shitstorm territory.
a lot of things have progressed, and there's a lot of bad things that are happening sooner now than they did in Lord of the Rings. Like, the lack of the Battle of Five Armies was good for Erebor and for Lake Town and for Mirkwood, but it is bad for the overall population of Sauron's troops, because all of those goblins who would have gone and died in the Battle of Five Armies are now in Mordor. And because a good chunk of the dwarves aren't resettling Erebor, no one's had the power base to go and try and take back Moria.
That's
Or
going to
the
be
Misty Mountains, for that matter. And, you know, the death of Gandalf may have made some people decide to make their heel turns a little sooner than they would have.
Hmm.
So a lot of bad shit from Lord of the Rings is getting a jump start now. It's happening a couple decades early. So
That's the
for
plus
Middle Earth
side.
at large, things are getting kind of dire.
fair
Yes, the
enough.
plus side is evil hasn't had so long to, work on its plans. It kind of had to suddenly jumpstart them.
And, you know, the other plus side is no one has any idea where the fuck the ring is. No one. Gollum doesn't know. Sauron doesn't know. Gandalf is dead, but also doesn't know. Nobody knows where that fucking ring is.
Except for one person.
And
No,
she
no, no.
doesn't. And she doesn't necessarily know it is the ring, although by this point the clues are starting to stack up.
Yeah, the clues are starting to stack up. Although,
But,
I have a lore question.
Yeah.
In Lord of the Rings, when you put on the ring wraiths know where you're there.
Yeah, like, when you activate the ring and start using its powers for the ring wraiths, that's a big, oh fuck, it's near.
But just having
Because
it on your mind.
because they, like Sauron, are tied to it.
But just
So,
have it. But
If
since
you use the ring's power in any way while fighting Cecil, he will know you have the ring. The other ring race will know you have the ring. They will know who to look for. And they'll tell Sauron, so Sauron will know that you are the one who bears the ring.
I mean, to be fair, he probably shit his pants.
It's probably one of the reasons why the ring hasn't told you to use it yet.
oh, so the ring doesn't want to be found.
It's too much in love with a little goblin inside your gun.
You know, the ring has gone through has had a lot to process. we haven't talked to the ring about what it's been thinking in a while.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick.
So I imagine he's trying to get as much information as it can first.
Mm-hmm.
Not that Arena will need to use the ring's power, given that she has now a huge power up from Smog, but intriguing. Get back.
I just realized I still have only 15 gold in my inventory. Did we get any gold at the end of that mission?
Yeah, we should have.
Okay, I was just checking. It's like, hey, we've rebuilt Erebor.
Between like, I didn't give you a gold payout, because to be book accurate, it would be ridiculous. But let's just say you have enough to justify any pretty much most equipment changes you could do within reason. Like, maybe not like a ghost touch longsword or something, but like, if you want some, high end mundane armor, you should be able to afford it.
Okay, so everything short of magical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if you want to say that you purchased a fucking horse and carriage or a boat, you can have a boat. There won't be much use of it because most of this is landlocked travel, but you could own a fucking boat if you wanted to.
I'm on a yacht, motherfucker. No.
Smaug and Belmont paid out.
Okay.
Grambone has a horse because I figured he's a cowboy. It doesn't matter if it's like comically sized.
Like Durza has a whole bunch of new equipment, because she and I talked it over earlier today, and it makes sense to me because you got a good payout, and it's been several months. You've had time to get that shit.
Right.
I was, because the soldier was wearing more battle-ready armor.
I kind of like the idea that Flawed never changed his equipment because he didn't see a point in it. Still thinks he's just a poor, a farmer's boy on the edge of the wood. Or, I guess, more ranger/hunter. Protector? Yeah, whatever.
Soldier wants to make sure her son has plenty of money.
Yeah.
He probably... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
He'd probably put his money back into the town somehow. Like, fund, buildings being built. Or, fix up the place a little bit.
Mimosa put most of hers away for relations because she doesn't think she's going to get to spend it.
Gorothy used a good chunk of hers to build a house.
I mean, Gorothy's out here living the best life, let's be honest here.
Yeah, goddamn.
Like, the three people who had the glow-ups were Gorothy and...
Arena.
Sorry, I kept on reading the Gunardi, and I'm like, that's not her name. Do not call her Gunardi.
Yeah, she's not
Kate
Gunardi.
will stab me. Kate will stab me.
About what?
Don't worry about it. Perfect timing for you to not stab me. But between Arena, Durza, and Dorothy, they all have the best blow-ups.
They have the best blow-ups?
Yeah, in terms of, like, they took the money and just made their lives better. And, like, Crambone went and did cowboy things, but not, like, fun-time cowboy things. Like, I had a pest debt with my old posse, and I need to go take care of this before I die kind of things.
Yeah, Soldier's pretty sure she's not surviving this, so she wants to make sure she had some last time with her son. And wanted to make sure he was safe.
I forgot. I still have Arena having a fucking broom on her sheet.
Hey, look, man, you never know when you need a good broom to hit somebody with.
Pretty sure
It's
you
a
would have
strength.
immediately burned that.
Oh yeah, I did, but I still have it there for funsies.
I mean, you could just thwap somebody with a broom on fire.
No, you keep it for when you get to meet Santa Claus and you stick it right up his ass. I'm returning the stick to you.
Hi, Kitty. What you doing?
Kitty is kitty.
Being a kitty?
Also, I forgot Crambone just casually is wearing mithril armor.
Oh yeah, we all have that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give the fucking warlock a 20 armor class.
The mithril shirt, which is underneath your actual armor.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm up to 21.
Same. I was tempted to get studded leather and give her just one more point, but...
I thought about getting better leathered armor. Like, you know what? Nah. I don't think it's in character, because he wouldn't think to buy better gear, because he doesn't think he should have better gear.
Aww.
The,
poor Flog.
hopefully you'll get more time to shine in the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
That's fine. I have no problem being a weird background character.
I'd like to have you, get to have more adventures with us.
Hmm.
I agree.
We'll actually see more of them.
Arena has one mission. Now, not to get back to her world, but if she ever sees Santa Claus again, to kill him.
And to make a cheesecake factory.
I mean, to be completely honest, she could probably just go up to Cranbone at any given times, like Santa Claus was back, and he'd just like reach into his like guitar case, pull out a gun, be like, "All right, let's do this." No explanation where it came from. It's not normally there, but you know how it goes. He's a ride or die.
It's just Santa shooting gun.
It's only
It's
for
Santa.
Santas.
That's okay. I'm fully expecting Gandalf to come back as Gundalf.
With a full Gundam armor set or something silly.
Okay, so which one? If you say Gundalf, does he have a gun? Or did he work out to the point he's ripped and he has guns?
Both.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm Gundalf the White. Arena, I liked what you had.
Okay, back.
I found it the other red and white wanker, and this pulls out a fucking Tommy gun.
I thought you were going to say throws up Santa's head. Okay, so you're all heading to City Hall, right?
Yeah.
We're heading to Lost and Found.
Which is at City Hall.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Cranbone is leading the way to City Hall because, oh god, we just put him in the middle of town and these fellers are idiots.
Okay, you guys head up to City Hall, and as you're riding up, you see standing outside the doors of the front of City Hall is this wraith who towers over the Hobbit standing in front of him, who is just sweating bullets. I'm sorry, sir, you can't go in here.
Listen, I just need to check the lost and found. I have good reason to believe that some jewelry belonging to my main friend is here. That may well be, but we collect Hobbit things, so you should not be here. If I crouch down and he sort of shrinks into his robe, and you hear the sound of bones creaking over each other. Would this work if I'm Hobbit sized?
What seems to be the problem?
And he takes out a handkerchief and said, "Of course you would be here. This one is."
Look, I know I didn't leave on the best of terms, but Jesus, you could at least have some tact.
This man is trying to get into our lost and found.
Ah, yes, these people, they're the ones who told me. That's a hobbit, right?
Actually, we have a tip for you, Mr. Cecil.
Yes, Cecil!
You
Yes,
see,
we have a tip.
we were in Mirkwood a few months ago, and they have quite a collection of rings that are magical. They might be having the one that you're looking for.
Yeah, those people were blinged right the fuck out.
Wait, you saying Mirkwood?
They were jingling like Cranbone at a hoedown.
No, that can't. That can't.
That ain't a good frame of reference. He ain't gonna know how I hold out. I've just met Cecil. I just started wearing spurs on my feet.
I suppose if I got word to Helm Hammerhand, he could check it out.
Oh God.
But he really wants those horses. Well, can I just look at you can bring the lost and found to me.
There's nothing of yours in our lost and found.
Cecil, buddy. Cecil, come here a minute. Let's have a little 5 minutes, yes, so come on.
I cannot believe he is this dumb.
Now look, Cecil, bud, right?
Yeah.
We're pals, right? Even though we just met, we're good friends, homebreds. Got the whole.
I like to think so.
Yeah, we got like the whole like. You got your cloak, I got my black outfit. We're friends.
Yeah, we've got similar fashion.
Exactly. That's how you start friendships. Now, bud, my friends here's heard a couple of months ago, but I've been on the road, kind of doing my own thing, making out my own music, changing some stuff up.
Do you know people who collect lost jewelry?
I haven't met anybody, but I was sneaking past some Mirkwood elves, right? Them fellas they were just talking about a couple of days back. And they said they found some weird ring magic stuff in an old troll lair.
Oh, did they say where the lair is?
Well, they said they killed them and they were taking it to Mirkwood.
So here's the thing, my friends are searching different parts of Middle Earth. See, I've got a map.
And he takes out a map, and there's like a bunch of circles all over it. There's specifically 9.
See, I'm supposed to check out this session. They said, Cecil, we never go there. That's why we're sending you there, because you're the bravest and the smartest, and that's why you've got to go to this very important area that we have a very little presence in. Because otherwise, we'd be in real trouble. And I was like, wow, you sure you don't want to send, the big guy? And they're like, no, he's got to search this area. And he points to Gondor. And I'm like, well, okay. But if it's a really dangerous, as you say, it's like, oh, it's so dangerous. And that's why I have to... I'm sorry, I'm rambling. The point is, Mirkwood is in my friend's... which one is it? Yeah, Morgamir is supposed to be here.
True. Now, Morgamir's supposed to be there, but he probably not doing it right. You know what I mean? You're the smart one. You're the one who knows how to get in and out.
Whoa. Now, wait a minute, buddy. I am a very talented individual, but Morgamir is very, very smart. We should not insult Morgamir.
Well,
Have you considered putting on a disguise?
Well, hold on. I got this. Now, Morgamir, he's probably searching all over, like searching in like every crook and cranny he can. He's got a lot of area to cover for one person. Right?
Oh yeah, he is, but he's on it. He's a very talented individual.
Now, wouldn't it be the smart thing for you to do? Be like, hey, I was over in that Shire Pass and somebody said they saw some magic rings in Mirkwood, so you had 2 people to go look through Mirkwood. You could find it faster. Maybe even you could find the ring.
Well, I'm not saying that wouldn't be smart. It'd be smart if we all teamed up together and combed things through, but it would take so long, and we've got very little time.
Why is that? I didn't realize you were on such a deadline.
Well, I mean, because I shouldn't be sharing too much information with you. We are friends, but some of this is my work stuff. I've got sort of a non-disclosure agreement.
I understand, but I want to make sure my friend's doing all right. I don't want to make sure you're not getting too stressed out.
I mean, I think I'm doing a pretty good job. I've knocked on every door, and a couple people even said a couple of words before closing it. I got a good conversation out of you. You told me about this lost and found. Now, if I can just get this round man to let me through.
Would you like me to see if I can go check for you, Cecil?
Yes, please.
Alrighty. He like pats him on the shoulder and goes over to the mayor. It's like, hey, look, I know we ain't had the best of relationships in the past, but would you mind if
Trambone, I think you are a lout and a layabout.
Excuse me, sir.
I'm going to roll a persuasion here because I think I need it.
Can Arena assist?
Yeah, I can assist.
Oh God, 28. 28.
We both got things, King. Jesus. It's like, all right, look, I know you and I got a beef. I ain't denying that. Nothing wrong with that. The reason I ain't been in town much. But I'm trying to get this guy out of here. You help me out. He's no longer your problem. Catch my drift, friend?
Arena, what do you say in addition to that?
Yes. I would love to help escort this individual out of the Shire.
But he's going to be awful persistent, because he's really looking for that ring or whatever.
What other stuff besides the Shire is in Cecil's ring? What other landmarks?
So basically, looking at the map of Middle Earth, Cecil is in all the fuck-off middle of nowhere spots. Mainly the Shire, and places like Bree, and like the outskirts of the Etten Moors, and just all these parts of the map that's like the fucking country bumpkins that no one gives a fuck about. A lot of hobbit places. Yeah.
So, like, I understand we don't have the best relationship. I I understand.
You also notice that Cecil's portion of the map is actually significantly larger than the other 8 ring wraiths. Like, they really want him to be gone for a while.
So, like, just go let me inside, and I'm not gonna act. I'll I'll dig through if you catch my drift, and make sure there ain't no rings, and I'll come out. And he trusts me.
Well, if you and your more capable comrades, like this fine woman over here, promise to get him out of the Shire because he does not belong here, I will let you look through the lost and found for him.
All right, sounds like a plan and a deal, good sir.
I fucking love Dragon Charisma.
I fucking just love being a bard. Like, you can just weasel your way into places. But anywho, so come on, Arena, we're gonna look. He turns back to Cecil and gives a big thumbs up, like one of those "I got you, bud," and he goes on in.
Cecil gives you double thumbs up.
So, what does the rings have to say about this?
God damn it. So fucking dumb.
So, Cecil,
Yes?
how did you wind up in this line of work?
Oh, it's really funny.
We'll see about that. I don't
I'm
laugh,
sorry,
Cecil.
friend. Did we get off to the wrong foot?
What?
Did we get off on the wrong foot?
No. I don't laugh, Cecil.
That's true, she doesn't.
She's just
Do
like
you
that.
eat hard candies? And he pulls out a small hard candy from his mouth.
She hesitantly takes it. Thank you.
It's grandma candy.
Oh, she's not eating it, but she took it.
It's really, really solid, really hard, and it sort of
Ugh.
sticks to the roof of your mouth when you suck on it.
She's not eating it. She's not.
I just want to
eating
describe it for the readers.
it. What reader?
Don't worry, she likes you.
Oh, good. Because the glare had a murderous intent.
It's just how she looks
From
at
inside,
people.
from inside the office. Oh, don't worry, she just gives that to everybody.
So, I hate to ask, but you're not all hobbits, are you?
I am.
I thought so. I thought you were a hobbit.
Yes, she is a
I was
hobbit.
like 90% sure.
She is so a hobbit.
See,
I just pick after the frog side.
I would be a
Yep.
hobbit, not from the
Wait.
frog side.
Hobbits are frogs?
Some of
I
us.
thought
yeah.
they were
yeah.
rabbits.
Some of us
Well,
are
there's
rabbits,
two
some of
different
us are
types.
frogs. It's just how it goes.
This is fascinating.
Oh no, you go ahead. Sorry,
Inside the lost and found.
Aaron. If you got a plan better than this, I could use some backup.
You see a box of the lost and found, and mostly it's just like hobbit clothes, the knapsack,
Hey, Crampo, are my garden shears in there too?
a plain golden ring, garden shears.
Oh,
Crambone grabs the garden shears and the plain golden ring.
You hear a hobbit woman saying, "I'm sorry, sir, but we haven't seen Bilbo Baggins in a long time. We're pretty sure he's dead." And you see this lady walking, and behind her is Flog.
Not dead. Keep telling you he's not dead.
You think that your father was with him?
what?
Well, if you remember canonically, Flog's father was the hot orc that Bilbo eloped with.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So apparently he's been trying to find his father.
Yes, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. I
Okay.
need to get you into the scene quick anyway. This is the way I
Alright,
figured out.
sorry, you dropped me off a fucking cliff.
Yeah, well,
Ass. Anyways. Yeah, some little reports say a very tall, muscular, absurdly attractive orc was in the area, and that tracks with his description.
Yes, he made several people hot and bothered.
Bilbo just had the balls to do something about it. I keep telling you that. He fucking ever goddamn believes me.
You know what? Not all of us have the courage to chase our dreams. I'm sorry.
And that's why they're still dreams.
Look, literally, trust. Like from inside, like, look, literally, all you gotta do is just take a deep breath. And
Have
take
you
a step
found the
forward.
ring yet?
Almost, buddy. I'm still digging. There's a lot of clothes
Okay.
to get through. I'm digging through the pockets, and he pokes his head back inside.
So I take it at this point, Flog sees the party.
Yes.
He's gonna wait. Oh, hello there.
Flog?
Yes.
Oh, of course. I should have known this one was involved with you, Crambone.
Okay. Sotra walks up to the hobbit and towers over top of him. Excuse me, sir. I believe you want to be quiet.
Oh shit, I was literally just gonna do that.
But I'm gonna intimidate him. 16.
Okay.
Look,
Flog
Jim, I told you I was a nice one, but no, had to go pick a fight with a country musician. Yeah.
Let's see. Flog's actually gonna put a hand on and goes, okay, guys. Being angry and concerned and intimidating the officials is not going to get you anywhere.
Neither is harassing the people who live here.
Flog, is that you?
Yes, I said hi.
Hey,
yeah,
Flog.
Flog's
I'm
inside
in-
the building. I mean, Clamboat's inside the building.
Oh,
How you been, anyway?
it's doing fine. Unless the DM says otherwise, I would
You're
have
doing
liked
fine.
his downtime to be he'd taken Legolas back home so he could have decent family.
Aw.
I will say his mother has more or less adopted him without,
Yeah.
saying so. It's fine. I mostly just went home, helped spruce up the town. I brought Legolas with me.
I was
He
wondering
seems
where
happy.
he went.
He seems happy enough.
Good.
Town
Better than
likes him.
Mirkwood.
The town likes him, but they're kind of.
So I will let you know this bit. At some point, Legolas has gone off with his new boyfriend Gimli to try and convince the Mirkwood elves to join up in the fight against Sauron. So that's
Okay.
happened at some point in the recent history.
I will relay that then. He also kind of went off with his friend Gimli. I'm not
I
sure.
heard they were dating.
He's gonna shrug at that. They didn't tell me anything of it, and I'm not going to assume.
Fair enough.
But they said he wanted to try and get the Mirkwood elves back on track.
Oh, sweet.
I don't think that's going to work.
Ooh, could we ask him to look for some jewelry? You could talk to my friend Morgamir.
Okay, he's now gonna turn and see this like shadowy Nazgul motherfucker. Is T a new member of the party?
No,
Am
that's not.
I?
No.
Yes.
No.
Do you want to be?
No.
I mean, if you guys will help me look for some jewelry, sure. There's about almost 9 of us. I think this could work.
Now,
Tell
we do
him
have our
no.
hands full
No.
with our current own
The
thing.
ring's like, tell him no, tell him no, tell him no, tell him no.
Mimosa
All right.
goes over and puts a hand on the Ringwraith's bony wrist and goes, well, I think our paths are going a different place than yours, and you clearly have more important business than we do. So we're going to have to decline your kind offer of you coming with us.
But do hit us up on the road sometime.
Okay, okay.
It's all right.
Not
It's like,
that we
all
wouldn't
right.
be delighted to have you.
Did you find a ring? You there?
Oh no!
Oh,
Cecil, hey, bud, sorry it took so long. I was like,
sorry.
okay,
Yeah,
what did y'all do? I was gone for 5.
it's not. They just, you know, we talked about possibly joining up, but it's not going to work out. It's fine.
I mean, it could work out in the future. It's just that right this moment we have kind of our hands full.
Yeah, you got your own quest. I got this whole circle to explore. It's fine. Did you find a ring in there?
In fact, I did find a ring, but I'm not sure it's the ring you're looking
Shit!
for.
Look, let me look.
And he pulls out the simple gold ring he pulled out from the lost and found box.
Oh, yes! It's not complicated at all. This could be it.
And though he has no face, you can feel just from the posture, like in the slight slump of his shoulders, that there's immense disappointment.
Aw.
I'm sorry, but
Here
it's
you
the only
go.
one it's the only one I could find in the box.
You tried your best, and that's what matters.
Yeah,
Well,
yes, we
sorry,
did.
but
you've eliminated one possibility. That's progress.
That's well, I guess I should mosey on that old dusty trail.
And Cecil
should we bring
slowly
him
gets
along?
on his horse.
Dorothy puts a hand on his shoulder. Hey, don't feel bad. All the best adventures start off with the hero at his lowest.
I don't think that's true, but I don't know enough about adventures to dispute it.
It is
I mean,
very
it's-
accurate.
Yeah, usually that's about right.
And look,
Well-
you've already accomplished something. You made friends along the way.
He did?
Yeah!
I mean, yes, he did.
I probably shouldn't tell the others about that because they'll chastise me, but yeah!
When Sultra says he did, Mimosa reaches out and kicks her in the ankle.
Alright, I'm back.
Cecil was getting ready to leave because the ring was just a simple golden ring.
Oh. So I gave the ring to Cecil?
I gave the obviously a simple gold ring to Cecil because we need
Are those
him.
my garden shears?
Oh yeah, no, I found them. Here you go.
I thought these were gone forever.
Well, I've gotta move along. I wish you luck on whatever the important quest that you have, which you can't ditch for me, is.
Don't be a stranger.
Hey, you could ditch your quest to come help us.
No, I literally cannot.
Oh,
Oh, that's a shame, but
Yeah, it's
why
sort of
not?
it's sort of a long story.
I mean, you
It's
avoided
because-
telling me how you got into this line of work. Is there something you're not telling us?
Mimosa's gonna kick her in the ankle again.
I've got my boss doesn't want me letting out trade secrets. He'll yell at me.
Sounds like you have a bad boss.
well, bud,
Well, what can you
if you
do?
ever
You
if
can
you
kind
ever
of say that he owns me, like property.
but that's
Sounds like
slavery.
They once.
Sounds like you need to stab your boss.
Then I bit him in the crotch. That's where I got my
I-
surname from.
I literally can't even consider such an option.
That's
Anyway, good luck to all of you. I hope you succeed on whatever you're doing.
And I wish you happy trails as well and good
Give
hunting.
me an opinion from the ring.
Soren's like, it's true, he literally can't.
It sounds like whoever's doing this to you is a real piece of work.
I'm sure.
You
They're
take
an
care of,
absolute piece of shit.
you can take care out there, bud, and remember you always got a friend in old Crambone.
I'll remember that. It'll be a nice comfort on those lonesome nights.
Aww.
All right, Death Hooves. Away!
Oh.
And the horse gallops off.
Aww.
Crambone watches his now new friend run into the side, right into the sunset, turns back to the mayor and is like, so that'll be 15 gold.
You didn't even sing your song.
You're a harsh man, Crambone. And he gives you 15 gold pieces.
Hey, if he were me, you'd be doing a lot more than giving him 15 gold.
Just Crambone just kind of takes it's like, yeah, I gotta.
Speaking of,
I heard
yeah.
songs saying that elves were kind and lovable folk.
I
What a
heard,
disappointment to know that they're wrong.
and I
The-
heard that
Dorothy turns
hobbits
to
were-
glare at
were
him now.
welcoming. I heard that hobbits were welcoming and kind.
We are.
That's not right.
We are to people of quality. And he goes back into the mayor's office.
Dorothy
That's why
puts a
nobody
hand on his
invites you for
shoulder.
11Z's.
Dorothy puts a hand on his shoulder. And she leans in. Softly. You know, they hear Hobbit tastes a lot like pork.
I hear that your lease is in a very perilous state.
Okay, another hand on the shoulder.
The Saxville Bagginses would love to get their hands on that property.
And I hear that someone needs to shut their mouth and walk away. And remember,
Ladies and gentlemen,
Can we,
Can
not...
we, like, weren't y'all supposed to be like getting folks for this whole big council meeting?
Oh, right. Dinner.
We're supposed to get out ambassador from Hobbiton, not scare them off.
we have 2 ambassadors.
Yeah, you got Gorth and you got Mimosa. I feel like that represents the majority.
Me, Strider, hey.
I meant for Hobbiton.
You're from Rivendell, Mr. Strider.
So, who wants dinner?
Honestly, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I could go for something to eat.
I've been eating beans for the last 3 weeks. I'll take anything else at this point.
I'm not sitting next to you.
Oh,
Strider's-
no.
Strider watches where Cecil, rode off, and he's just like, did we seriously just convince him to leave?
Yeah, pretty much.
I
It
wouldn't
wasn't even a fight!
I wouldn't count on that working for any other ones that we might meet.
I mean, we befriended Smaug.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, it's one of those...
Sotra, we can
Yeah.
befriend them, but we can't make them go against Sauron. They physically cannot.
I figured it. Cecil made it sound like that, yeah.
Viva la Revolucion.
I don't think it's that simple, Cranbone.
The only way that
Viva.
they could be freed is if somebody found that goddamn ring and threw it somewhere and destroyed it somehow. I don't know how the hell you would do that. Magical rings are not exactly my forte.
And the freedom that would grant would just be death, Strider says.
That poor soul.
Isn't that the lovely gift of men that the gods gave us?
I don't know. I'd kind of like to live forever.
Christ, that
Live
sounds
forever
fucking
in
terrible.
servitude?
You are definitely a teenager, young man. Pats Strider on the shoulder.
Arwen's gonna live forever, so...
Ah, yes. You're in love, aren't you, boy?
Yeah, I'm not ashamed of it. Me and Arwen, we're gonna be a thing.
Oh, God.
I mean, I wish you the best of luck with that, bud. Have you
Trust
tried
me.
getting on? I don't know who this Elwyn is, but you'll be alright.
Trust me. As an elf who's been with an elf, it doesn't always last.
Yeah, well, me and Arwen are gonna, because we're in love. Like, real love.
Yeah.
I know that you, grown-ups don't generally believe in that sort of thing, but, we got it.
Oh,
Well,
trust
I
me,
was your
I
age,
believe
so-
in it.
Yeah, damn
rubbing
straight you do, Dorothy, and
rubbing
Strider
her
gives you
temple.
nuts.
I mean,
Discouraging
Hey, Robert.
love in anybody is not a good thing to do.
Irina flashed back to her parents and her drunken father.
Oh,
Arena, Gal Pal, don't mean to be mean, you're making the face again.
the war flashback face.
You're making the 1,000-yard stare again. Are you alright?
Just
you need
thinking, just thinking about my father and how the drunkard was blown up in the blitz.
Do you need a hug or something?
I'm fine.
Oh, Irina, your scales are coming in. That's awesome.
I wasn't going to comment on it. I wasn't sure if it was scales or if it was chicken pox.
Dragon magic.
Hey, it could have been chicken pox. I'm just saying.
Strider. Strider.
Yeah.
I wish you luck.
Oh, damn. She likes
But
you.
luck ain't gonna be necessary. I've got this on lock.
Listen. You need to try your hardest. Do you understand me?
What do you think I'm doing? I'm going on a huge quest.
No,
I'm trying.
not this. With the girl. She lives a very long time. You need to understand that. It goes both ways. But she is not here. I can't speak to her.
Strider looks at you, and he loses a little bit of the cocksure bravado, and he's like, "Thank you, but I think I'm doing pretty all right."
All right, so let's go have dinner and have a move on. Renee's gonna look at her map. What was her next destination?
Well, that is this is where we can go a couple of ways, actually. So the next places you could head after the Shire, you could either head towards Isengard, or you could head towards Lothlorien, which would also involve you going through Moria along the way. Like, basically, either you head towards Moria and go on the way to Lothlorien, or you head to Isengard and Rohan.
So, Isengard to Rohan or Lothlorien? Or Moria to Lothlorien.
Well, last I recall, Mines of Moria ain't exactly a fun place to be near at all whatsoever.
Because of goblins.
Yeah, we don't know where they are.
We know goblins.
I've heard a lot of the goblins have been pulling out.
Then that would mean it should be probably vacant. So
The Misty Mountains are almost completely empty.
Or we could catch them on the way out and maybe stop them from going to Sauron.
True, but there's also Isengard, and that has some important allies in that area too.
Also true.
Saruman would be a very good ally, but I've never completely trusted him.
I believe Saruman is there.
I'm not sure you should go to Saruman first. You might want to gather some strength before that era. He is a wizard, correct? Yes, of a long white beard. Oh, I do not like him at all.
Oh.
Racist against people with white beards. Holy shit.
Personally, I'm leaning towards Moria then to Lothlorien.
To Moria, then.
Moria. That's three hosts Moria.
And they called it a mine. A mine!
Vlog,
Yes.
do you have any opinion of this?
I honestly have no idea what you guys are doing, but if it's
We're gathering a war.
Oh yeah, sorry, Flog. Hi, I'm Strider Ranger. I've heard of you. We're on a mission from Gid.
He smacks him upside the head again.
who is Gid?
Ow!
I'm
No,
not
we're
sure.
on a mission from Smeg. Get it right.
Who is Smeg or Gid?
Smog.
Smile.
The dragon.
Oh, the dragon.
Tremendous!
The dragon, yes.
Says the dragon on my shoulder.
How is he doing? How is he doing right now, anyway?
Quite well, actually.
Good, good. I really wanted that situation to work out for everyone.
He told the mouth. He told the mouth of Sauron to fuck off.
Ah,
I missed that part.
I love that catty bitch.
I mean, like, to be fair, if the mouth of Sauron came up asking me for shit, I would have just whooped their asses, but that's just me.
It's smarter to try this diplomatically than with hostility right away.
Yeah, any good king knows that you don't shoot the messenger, says Strider to Peter Jackson.
Don't say that cursed name in this household again, son.
Say it name again and slap you several more times.
Oh my god, you can see him too?
So-
I
In
don't
any
see
case-
him anymore.
Claude.
I killed him.
Would you like to come with us?
Of course, I'm always up for a good cause.
Yes, and you are one of the most
Yeah.
sensible ones among us.
We are currently getting ambassadors to form a parliament at Erebor to figure out the deal with this Sauron situation once and for all.
Smug apparently thinks a united front might cause Sauron to pause the war, at least.
Give us time to prepare more. Smart move on his part.
Best case scenario, we bring him to some kind of bargaining table. Worst case scenario, we're at least united against him.
Worst case scenario, I'm still down for finding Shelob and figuring out how to master interworldal travel.
I mean, this is the best.
Strider looks at you like you're fucking insane.
Listen, she
Are
comes
you-
from another world.
Gandalf
This is not
called it,
hers.
So
Gandalf called it Tapa.
she's an Easterling? What the fuck are you talking about?
It's extremely
Interdimensional travel, if I do recall, was a.
What the hell do those words mean?
No,
I have no idea.
She's not an Easterling. It's called an Easter Kai.
Listen, Strider. We're on Middle Earth, and there's other parts of Earth, right?
Yeah, I am aware of how maps work.
Imagine there's another Earth entirely.
So, okay. What, is it like stacked under us or something?
I don't know how it works. All I know is I came from one, got sent to a world with talking animals.
Yeah, make that 3 Earths, by the way.
Doesn't this
And
one have
apparently
talking
there's
animals?
more.
I mean, not that I'm aware of. I don't have no
No,
talk.
just the normal things talk here. Humans, elves, dwarves,
Trees.
orcs, eagles, certain species of tree,
Spiders.
wolves, spiders, just the normal things. Dragons.
Okay, the one place I was previously had talking beavers.
What the hell is a beaver?
It
I've
sounds
been
And a horrible abomination named Mr. Tumnus.
that name.
I don't know this Mr. Tumnus, but he sounds like someone who eats children.
He sounds like
So
somebody
true,
who should be on a
fighting her
list.
tongue.
Crambo just awkwardly pulls out the guitar and just plays a random tune because I'm not going to my closet and digging out.
Sotra's biting her tongue.
Also a tyrant who's like Sauron but way more incompetent, who has mastery over winter.
They call her the White Bitch or something.
Hey, let's not quote epic movie, Casey.
That was the one funny thing they did.
Fair.
The white bitch.
So,
You know what? I'm gonna just stop asking questions about whatever this is because that sounds
Listen.
screwy.
Listen, Strider.
If-
We
if very much-
Sorry. We befriended Smaug and got the spiders and goblins and orcs and elves all to come together. Are you seriously doubting what we're telling you?
I'm just having a hard time understanding what you're telling me.
Fair enough.
Let's use this as an example, shall we? Arena's pulling out her Luger and fires it at the sky.
Okay. Oh, you know what? We don't. Oh, whoa. Okay. You know what? We're just gonna make a silly gibberish word for whatever this is, and we can just call it that. So it's just an isekai thing. This is an isekai thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Mimosa is like glaring at Erna right now, like, did you just fire that fucking thing in the fucking Shire?
And then so here's someone's like, I think there's a dragon! Dragon! And all the hobbits
Do
start
you
panicking.
realize what you just fucking did? I'm gonna be on goddamn cleanup duty all
And
fucking night.
there's the sound of horse hooves, and several of the hobbits part way as Cecil comes charging in on a horse. And he rides up to you guys, he's like, guys, I think there's a dragon!
Cecil, there ain't no dragon. Somebody just fired off some
He hops off
fireworks.
the horse and whips out like this horrifying looking sword. Don't worry. I am very good with this.
Arena looks for her shoulder.
It's not a dragon. It's not a dragon. It's just fireworks.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. It's a Hobbit thing. We do fireworks.
Fireworks?
Yeah, we have fireworks for celebrations, and we were messing around with one like idiots, and we threw it in the fire, and it exploded. It made a big boom.
The other hobbits don't seem to think these
They
are
didn't
fireworks,
do
and you do
anything.
see all these hobbits panicking.
It's like it was like Crambo. Like, hold on, I think I have a spell for this. Hold on, let me go look at my spell list.
Mimosa's just full of murder right now.
Crambo like taps a finger to his throat real quick, like, and very loudly. It was just a misfired firework. Do not worry. We were not doing anything.
All the hobbits go back to their homes, and one of them shouts, "This is why we're happy Gandalf's dead."
Hey,
you
buddy,
said that.
suck a dick.
Wow, that's a horrible thing for a person to say.
Which one, me or them?
They were glad this Gandalf fellow was dead.
So just glaring in the direction of whoever said that.
Alright, let's get a move on.
Crambo presses his finger back to his throat. Anywho's
Anywho's it. Come on.
Strider
Call.
shakes his head and says, "He was right. They do need a good kick in the pants here."
Let's just go eat dinner, and then we'll move on to Moria. And be
All
done
right.
with Hobbiton.
so
It's
it was
so
just
eager
about.
to get out of here.
All right, Cecil. Now you just go back on your hunt. No worries.
Yeah. Hey, I found something really cool that's going to help me a lot. So, thank you very much for your help.
What you find, bud?
Oh, old friends.
Old friends.
You got old friends?
Yep.
Well, shoot. What are their names? Let's see if I run into them by chance. I'll make sure.
I didn't ask their names. They're really old friends. And you know what? Even if I don't find the ring, I think getting these guys on board is going to be enough to make everyone really happy with me. So have fun, everybody. I hope you enjoy your dinner. Man, I miss being able to eat.
And he rides off on his horse.
That sounds very bad.
Which way did he come from?
The Barrows.
What's in the barrels, Mimosa?
Mimosa, do we need to go like take care of this? We're gonna go take care of this. Come on, Mimosa.
The barrows are things in the old magical fucking forest that are full of ghosts.
Oh no.
Let's go take care of this mimosa before it gets too out of hand.
In Fellowship, that's where Frodo gets his first shanking.
Actually, he does the shanking, so...
Yeah, that's right. That's when Frodo does his first shanking.
That's when Frodo started his wide range of stabbings.
If I gotta go stab another man, god damn it.
Alright, so how are you going to pursue Cecil?
Now we're going. Crambo's just gonna get on his horse and be like, come on, Mimosa, let's go.
I don't think we're pursuing Cecil. I think we're heading to the Barrows.
How are you going to follow Cecil to the Barrows?
We all have rides.
I'm gonna do a stealth check, because that seems like a smart thing to do. And be sneaky like about it, because like I'm gonna I figure.
Yeah.
I'm good at stealth.
Hopefully.
I say, and let's see how bad this goes.
Alright, Mosa.
14. God damn it, Flog. God damn, Flog.
He's a ranger.
No, he's a fighter.
Oh,
I'm the ranger.
He's a
Anyone
scout
else?
fighter.
Anyone else following? Everyone else going home?
Dorothy?
Dorothy, prepare the late
what's
night.
everyone?
Are you? How are they're all following Cecil to the barrows? Are you going along?
I guess so.
Are you doing it stealthily, or are you just following along?
Damn.
All right.
Jesus.
If these
So
things
you guys
enter Sauron's service, we're fucked.
sneak to the barrows, and as you follow along behind Cecil, you see him there. Like you see him eventually get to that area, and there are all of these spectral warriors slowly strapping on armor and picking up weapons as they crawl out of their long forgotten graves.
Oh no.
And Cecil comes out and is like,
Well, guys, I've got to say, you're looking a lot better than when I first found you here. Are we called to do? Well, we have to find a ring. What sort of ring? Well, it's like a plain golden ring. Very plain. No jewelry, no intricate carvings. You can only tell that it has writing on it when you throw it into a fire. Oh, yes. Yeah, so that's the difficult part. It's been lost for centuries. So we've got to just search everywhere for it because no one has a single fucking clue. Now, I've been going around door to door and killing people. No. Whoa. A very dark thought. Moray. Yeah, but like, dude. No, I've been asking. Do the ring? Well, I mean, it's a very large. You should kill people. I mean, is that the best course of action? Quicker. I mean, yeah, people have taken a while to actually answer the question, and a lot of them don't actually say anything in response. They just shut the door in my face.
Serena's gonna ask the ring, what do you suggest we do with this situation?
That is a lot of ghosts. I think you should. Normally, I would offer you a fraction of my power, but I don't think it would be wise to do so around the ring wraith, because he might think that the ring you have is the one he's searching for if he saw you using it. So, to keep from you having a target on your back, you're going to have to destroy them. Or drive him away. Those are barrel whites. Normally they should be confined here. They could leech off of him to escape, but without him here, they're stuck. And then people can just avoid this area and be fine.
If we just drive him off without them latching on, that we should be fine.
So, how do we convince him not to take them with him?
Okay, so we're going to store the killing idea for a second. We'll just put a pin in that. Other suggestion. We like killing people. Yeah, okay, but like, yikes, though.
What if they're down to the barrows? Could we, in theory, destroy the barrows to dissipate them?
I have a stupid idea.
Erina, I'm going to just give you a solid ghost lesson. Generally, destroying the resting place of the dead does very little to quiet.
Right.
Dorothy has an idea.
What if we convinced him to start a ring-based fundraiser?
What?
we convince him to go around asking people to donate.
You better not make me sing this.
I love how that's Scatha doing that in the Bard character, not.
You know, I'm just gonna go talk to him.
I'm not sure that's the best idea, friend.
Look. We have to do something before they start leeching off of him and following
It
him.
might be a little late for that.
Someone has to do something. If we stay under here for too long, we'll have all of them after us as well. And that is very bad. So I'm going to go talk to Cecil unless one of you has a better idea.
I think we should convince him to go around just starting a fundraiser for the sake of. It'll keep him mobile.
That's okay. But what about the
Strider?
ghosts?
Strider raises a hand.
What, Strider?
So you guys just go around and talk to people, and that's
Yes.
how you stop the fights?
Yes.
Always.
Badass.
Okay, I'm
Thank
going.
you.
There's
What other areas in Cecil's influence could we send him to in his big giant ring? What other named region?
The Ettenmoors. You encountered trolls that had left the Ettenmoors, and they had a bunch of swords and gold
Right.
from elves.
Arena's gonna call out while I still away from this. Cecil!
What? Whoa! Holy shit! You guys! I thought you had dinner.
We have a
Come
lead.
here, Cecil.
We have
Yeah,
a lead for
hey.
you.
You guys, hold a second. Dude, what's up?
We were reminded. On our way from Rivendell, we found a bunch of trolls from the Etmols, and they had a bunch of jewelry with them. Apparently, the Etmols is full of it.
You're shit. See, I said that we needed to get more trolls on board. The boss is all like, we're breeding our own. Why do we care? This is so great.
Cecil.
Yeah.
Listen, those ghost guys, you want to leave them behind because they're absolute assholes.
You know, I'm kind of uncomfortable. They're talking about just killing a whole bunch of people.
That's what I want. You gotta be careful, bud.
So
Yeah,
you
I
should
don't
leave
think
them.
I don't. If you're forming a group, that's very bad. So just kill everyone you recruit.
Yeah.
You would get
That's
no
what I was
recruits
thinking.
that way.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Just bad vibes all around.
All right, you know what? Ettenmoor sound, and Sauron hasn't really been hardcore recruiting on the trolls.
Cecil, you don't even need to recruit them. You could just go and talk to them and ask them about the jewelry and stuff.
I didn't just say the name, did I? No, I must not have. Okay, so I'll go ask them about the jewelry. All right. Hey, guys! He skips down to the barrel lights. Go back to bed. What? Go back to bed. You're fine. We don't need you. But you said just get back in there. Oh. All the ghosts begin crawling back into their graves, real reluctantly. Yeah, I know. Just nap it off, guys. It's fine. All right. Thanks, guys. Ettenmoors. Yeah.
Sorry, we forgot about it. Just been a bit.
And Cecil hops back on his horse and rides away.
So you might be able to point out other areas that you might look to.
Yeah, sure, you can do that. You can just point to a bunch of random sections.
Well, while I'm doing this, I'm also noting where all the other ring wraiths are.
Yeah.
And putting them on our map.
Turns out a lot of them are in areas that you're going to be heading to.
Oh, joy. Hey, Cecil. Hey.
Yeah?
So, your boss, you gotta do what he says. These other jerks, they're not very nice to you, are they?
My coworkers, they have some constructive criticisms, but I
Cecil.
think we're friends.
Cecil, we're friends.
Yeah, we're chums. I'm really fond of you guys. You're some of the nicest people I've ever met.
Have your coworkers
Christ, that's
treated
sad.
you like we have?
Well, I mean, they're very businessy.
Cecil.
Sounds to me like someone is trying to control you.
Not really trying.
Cecil, these other air quotes, friends of yours.
Also, TT, weird flex. But for Larry, does it just say asshole?
Sorry, what?
For Larry, does it just say asshole?
Yeah.
It's already.
Ashar Laurie is just listed as asshole on the map.
You really don't owe them anything.
Well, that's actually not true. I have sworn fealties.
But have you sworn fealties to them?
Yes, actually.
Damn.
But I appreciate it. You're being very thoughtful. That's
Did
why
you-
I consider you such a good friend. In fact, give me a hug.
What?
Give me a hug.
Dorothy jumps right in.
So is Crambone.
Yeah, hugs are nice.
Hug the moody elf.
Wait, did you swear fealty before or after you died?
Before. But such
Well,
things...
that avoids the contract,
great.
doesn't it?
No. Such things hold a great weight. Even in
Listen.
death, I cannot escape my oath.
Is there any way to free you?
Nope!
Oh.
Challenge accepted.
Alright, it's best that we get on the way.
Alright, you know, you guys have been just about the most helpful people I've ever met. I said it before, but I'll say it again. I really hope you succeed in whatever it is you're doing. I'm rooting for you.
And I hope you are safe in your journey.
Thank you, I'm very touched.
I hope you meet people who will treat you the way you deserve.
Thank you.
Take care out there, partner.
Alright, see you, friends!
And remember, ghosts are bad.
Oh, are we?
No, ghosts, like those ones.
Yeah, Barrow-wites, yeah.
Yeah,
These
they really.
guys, they seem just a little bit, I think they're just a little deranged. Okay, see y'all!
Okay.
I like that guy.
Alright, so that's one question about it. Let's go have dinner and let's head back to Moria.
Alright. You
Yeah,
all
you-
have a wonderful dinner at Dorothy and Dawn's house. It's a little cold, but it's still delightful. And that's where we end tonight's session of Tolkien Off the Rails.
Oh.
Damn it. You
I
almost made
needed
me.
that.
You almost made me sing the song out of panic.
What were you going to sing?
Yeah.
The Tom Bombadil song to summon Tom Bombadil to have him deal with the goddamn ghost in the ring wraith.
Oh.
I need to summon Jesus.
Summon Jesus song.
Crambone, will put a hand on his shoulder, I understand.
Also,
I'm
on the hand, Arena's getting very suspicious of the ring. On the other hand, why would it be helping her? So she's all confused.
Yeah, he's actively helping her.
I think that one line of, oh, by the way, don't use me, or, they might mistake me for a super powerful ring they're looking for, which I'm not, but am.
I mean, he has claimed to be a super powerful ring, just not the super powerful ring.
I know.
Yeah, and we all
I'm just
got
saying,
that ring.
he is tiptoeing around shit.
I think it is safe to say that Sauron is confused and has a lot on his mind. Or rather, the ring does.
Oh, God, I've been this confused since my days in college.
I remember him back in the days of college.
Back when I went to college with Sauron. A definitely true story of Crambone's life.
He was a dick. All about them weird political ideas.
Stole my lunch money.
So we are heading for Moria next,
Yes.
correct?
Yes, we are heading from
All right,
Moria.
then I will delete Path 2. So I can focus on Path 1.
I just fucking needed that.
Yeah, that was a really good session.
That was fun.
Mimosa panicked several times.
Crambone
In character
just like,
and out of character.
Yeah, the ghost part at the end had me in a panic.
I just enjoy Crambone too much. It's just
Cranbone's a delight.
he's gonna be more morose this time around, a little more.
You keep saying that, but you keep going full silly.
He
I feel Crambone had a significant change. He's Fellowship Crambone as opposed to Hobbit Crambone. Just like you see elements of goofy Hobbit Gandalf in Fellowship Gandalf, but you also see parts of Gandalf that are like, there's some shit that we actually have to take care of this time.
Okay, give you crap, Craig. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's just, admittedly, it was one of those. I am the bard, and the bard's function is to social situations out, and as that is our usual situation, Crambone was in there. Oh God, please tell me. Oh, he didn't fall in the paint. Thank Jesus.
You mean Tom Bombadil?
Is there a difference?
I had a lot of fun.
There really isn't.
Yeah.
So did I. With women,
Yeah.
so I wasn't busy panicking.
I enjoyed making Scatha panic, and that in turn made it a wonderful night.
Marina went from PTSD and constantly frustrated to basically a diplomat.
Eventually, oh, go ahead.
Fellowship Gorthy went from learning how to live to having a good reason to live.
Sotra has mellowed out just a bit. She no longer hates everybody.
And Durza's kind of our Aragorn.
We have the real Aragorn, but we have a better Aragorn. Or is Aragorn just
when
the
I was
real
when I was
Durza?
thinking when I sort of decided that this was going to be essentially a series of escort missions, I was trying to think of how to flavor each NPC, and I realized that like Aragorn would be like roughly teenager aged for a Numenorian. And I was like, fucking Aragorn as the plucky teenage sidekick is just so my jam. As like the fucking Tim Drake Robin to the group.
Yeah, I got that vibe. How
Just this sassy little teen.
Meanwhile, fucking Gimli and Legolas are Bill and Ted.
Oh no!
Also, didn't have time to actually demonstrate it, but Artemis is now the family pet.
Oh, the spider! Aw.
Aw.
Yeah, there's a couple of moments of Crambone I'm gonna have that'll be fun later. We'll see how it goes. Might try to throw him off a couple of cliffs. Who knows?
All moments of Crambone are fun.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we chose the path that we did. Moria is going to be a good challenge part, and I cannot wait for you guys to see what I'm doing with Lothlorien.
Totally.
We can guess.
Oh, you can guess some aspects, but
TT fetish bait, TT fetish bait.
I have such a great joke for you guys to discover. It's going to be marvelous.
Excellent.
Yeah. Obviously, a lot of references to Cecil's Journey to the Heart of Darkness, the film I made in college, which originated as like a bunch of Lord of the Rings joke comics I made in high school, and then became sort of like the first Midgehheim story, albeit one that's a little bit like non-canon at the moment, but eventually I'm going to make a canon version of it. The obvious one is obviously just that Cecil is here. But I also think the fact that a dragon is in the Gandalf role is another Cecil's Journey thing. That fucking Smaug is the one giving you like your fellowship quests instead of Gandalf.
That was great. You did fantastic with him. And like Sotra's kid, going like, look at all the lizards I drew, and like, I could tell that was both you in that moment of being like, oh, I'm actually very interested in hear what you say, you little 5-year-old who's barely bigger than my claw. And it was like, oh, I like when Sotra was nearly crying, I was nearly crying over here, man. I had the
So,
mic muted so I wouldn't cry on mic.
so there were a lot of I wrote a lot of stuff for the Smaug and Mouth of Sauron thing, and I ended up streamlining it in the moment, just because I didn't want to be talking to myself for like an hour. Originally, they were going to argue back and forth. Mouth of Sauron was going to bring up Smaug's desertion, and Smaug would respond that he thinks that the fight was unwinnable. Instead, in this version, Smaug just gave the excuse of visiting his cousin, which I think is funnier. Even if it doesn't develop Smaug's character quite the same level, it was a bit more in character for him to just fucking like tell a half truth. Mouth of Sauron would then proclaim that Smaug has stolen a tribe of orcs from Sauron, but Smaug would counter, but they didn't seem to be owned by anyone, and if they were offered no protection or aid in the Misty Mountains, they weren't given orders, and no one was keeping order while they squabbled with other tribes, and orcs belong to Morgoth first and foremost, and have historically been split between his lieutenants as needed, and since Smaug has as much a right to claim being a lieutenant of Morgoth as anyone. After all, Uraloki are ranked high, almost as high as Balrog with Morgoth. Smaug has just as much a right to these goblins as Sauron did, which would be a point. And the Mouth of Sauron would have asked if Smaug considers himself Sauron's equal, and Smaug would reply that, no, they're not equal, for unlike Sauron, Smaug has never lost a fight. And then the Mouth of Sauron would state that Smaug does not ally with Mordor and the other remnants of Morgoth's army. Smaug would be considered an enemy, which he did here. And Smaug would claim that he couldn't be happier to be counted among the free folk, as the Uraloki were created from the fires of chaos who smolder and flame wherever they like, and that if Sauron wants a war, he will get it. And I actually had a different speech, not just the one from The Hobbit, though I wanted to say those words so bad, I think the temptation resisted me. Originally, I wrote sort of a play on that. War? Sauron, gift-giver and Lord of Darkness, is but a diminished spectre of his former self. His armies have rotted along with him for years, and for most kingdoms he is but a distant and dismal memory. But Smaug the Golden, chiefest and greatest of calamities, oh, I am known, Mouth of Sauron. I am feared, and now I am loved. Your master would make war? Then tell him what he faces. An army of orcs, men, dwarves, and elves, all armed to fight like dragons. My army marches with mithril shields. Their swords are my fangs. Their spears are my claws. They strike with the force of a thunderbolt. Their fury a hurricane, and their wrath death. I laid low the warriors of old, and Sauron has none of their like in the world today. But I have. So let your wretched master bring his war. It will be my honor to grind his hollow ghost into the dust.
Damn.
Yeah.
So that would have been the alternative. But I streamlined it a bit because I wanted to give you guys more time. It's not the Smaug show. But it was funny.
Yeah.
And a bit more clever for Smaug to do the Dana the Iron Hills thing and be like, I'll give you my answer in my own good time.
Okay, so here it is. 1541 in the Fourth Age of Middle-earth. In this year, on March 1st, came at last the passing of King Elisar. It is said that the beds of Meriadoc and Peregrine were set beside the bed of the great king. Then Legolas built a grey ship in Ilithin, and sailed down Anduin and so over the sea, and with him, it is said, went Gimli the dwarf. That doesn't sound like a big thing, but you gotta remember that Arwen had to give up her immortality to stay in Middle-earth with Aragorn, and she could not go over the sea. And the hobbits were given special permission to go. So the fact that Gimli got to go with Legolas is a thing.
That's a lot.
They are in love and happily married, and that's the truth. Carambo is going to be nothing but supportive.
That bit in I think Two Towers. Yeah, Two Towers, where both Legolas and Gimli are going over their traumatic experiences with the other's home environment, and then comforting each other with like, "There's beauty in that. You have to see." Like, you know, Gimli's terrified of forests like Fanghorn, and Legolas is like, "Forests can be beautiful and wonderful," and Gimli is like, "I will show you the beauty of caves if you will show me the beauty of forests." And like, they fucking. They fucking. Oh, they fucking.
Wait a minute. Gimli's the bottom?
He's strong, so he has a lot. So he's good at supporting.
The term is power bottom.
Okay, he's a power bottom. That at least feels better. Because I mean, like, I'll show you the beauty of caves. You show me the beauty of forests.
Yes. Show me the beauty of this long, hard shaft. I will show you the beauty of a deep hole.
I really hate you guys.
I mean, it fucking writes itself.
Just they fucking.
That
Alright.
was also people's reaction to Durza and Sotra.
Holy fuck.
I mean, like, there's a chemistry there, and if it can be nurtured over the sessions, I think it should be
Yeah,
explored.
I'm not against that.
Irving,
I will not ship Crambone with anybody. because
I'm not
Crambone's-
pushing one way or the other. I just thought it was
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
I'll push it places, but don't mind me.
This is a very romantic campaign.
It is.
meanwhile, Arena has no one so far.
I mean, she's what, 16, 17?
19.
She has a lot of platonic friends, though.
Yeah.
She's like Aurora in Sleeping Beauty, with just like this trio of fairy godmothers.
Oh god, you're right.
Oh
Oh,
god,
we're the fairy godmothers.
Three
I
voices
wonder-
in my head.
Smaug, Sauron, and Klaus.
I wonder if Smaug can speak to Dragonling telepathically.
I think that would probably be a stretch.
Alright.
I think that would be going a little too far from canon.
Okay.
But the Dragonling has a connection to you. Arena, like Ungoliant, you're kind of fucking with the structure of the universe here just by being here.
Not to any immense extent, but she is definitely.
Not in a destructive way, but in a way where shit's getting wacky.
But I mean, that's the whole point of the campaign. So
Yes.
In Middle Earth terms, you are like weird offbeat drums in the background of the song of the universe. You're not there, like, you're not right in the middle of it, you're not disrupting the melody per se, but you're there. And the melody isn't the same.
You're turning this into the Neil Cicerega mashup version of a song. I get that reference, and that's what matters.
Yeah, Arena. While the whole series is probably the Middle Earth theme, Arena is just the soft key kazoo version of it, subtly smashed in.
Just in the background.
the minor key kazoo.
Oh, wait, I
piano.
know exactly how we can explain Arena's contribution to a song of Middle Earth.
God.
Is it Beat It?
It's gonna be.
Fuck. I'm not playing that. All I have to do is look at the title and everybody can see that on screen right now. Fucking damn it.
I think you should play that once it was over. You turn off in the stream.
I had a lot of fun at this session, but the most fun was Strider.
Oh my god.
There's just something really fun about playing Aragorn as just this mischievous teenage boy.
Oh my god. Okay, I am gonna have to hop off for the night because I do have
Yep.
to go to work, so...
Alright. That ends the recording. Hope you all enjoy how Fellowship's turning out, because it's gonna get fucking weird.
Alrighty, so migrate